It's time for Super Bowl VII on the AFRTS Parade of Sports. Hi again, everyone. This is Ken Allen of AFRTS Sports in Washington. And today, it's the National Conference champion Washington Redskins versus the American Conference champion Miami Dolphins from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. We'll be joining Jim Simpson and Kyle Rote for today's game in just a moment.
Miami Dolphins are now being introduced, and I think you can hear the roar of the boos of the Redskins fans and the cheer of the crowd of the Dolphins fans. They right out on the field. And since they will receive, let us give you the starting lineup. Paul Warfield, one wide receiver, number 42. At left tackle, perhaps Wayne Moore, 79, or perhaps the until now injured and limping Dusty Sand, 77. At left guard, number 67, Bob Kuchenberg. At center, Jim Langer, number 62. At right guard, perhaps the premier pulling right guard of the National Football League, number 66, Larry Little. Number 73, Norm Evans will be at right tackle. The tight end, and he has been in the Super Bowl before with the Packers, Marv Fleming, number 80. The quarterback, injured much of the year, will be Bob Reese, number 12. Murtry Morris, 22. Jim Stick, 21. Share one running back spot. That is held by Larry Conca, number 39. And the other wide receiver, Al Tully, and of course, John Shula. A very successful coach of the Miami Dolphins in 10 years has won more than 100 games. And now the crowd comes up because here comes the Redskins. They are introducing their defense. Ron McDowell, 79 at left end. Bill Bundy, 77 at left tackle. He'll be replaced on running plays by Manny Sisruck. Darren Calvert, 72 at right tackle. Roland Biggs, 89 at right defensive end. The linebackers, Bill and Jack Hardy, 32 on the left side. Chris Hamburger, 55 on the right side. Al McClinton, number 53, is the middle linebacker. Their cornerback, Pat Fisher, 37 on the left. Mike Bass, 41 on the right. The strong safety is Brigo in 23. Your free safety or weak safety is Roosevelt Taylor, number 22. There is one primary injury to one of these ball clubs that Cal and I have not mentioned until now. That is the Tim Foley, left cornerback for the Miami Dolphins, suffered a shoulder separation in the American Football Conference game with Pittsburgh and is missing this game, and Lloyd Mumford is stepping up into his role. And young Henry Stuckey, drafted originally by the Detroit Lions, cut by them after training camp, picked up by the Dolphins, is activated for the first game of his professional career, and guess what it is? It's the Super Bowl here in Los Angeles, California. The players now, the Redskins on the near side, dressed in their gold pants, red jerseys, white numerals, gold helmets with the yellow feathers and spearhead on them. They are the home team. Across the way, the Miami Dolphins, primarily in white uniforms, with kind of a tangerine and green color, with the green being the predominant color of their numbers. George Allen, National Football League Coach of the Year last year, went on to, with his first Redskin team to the playoffs, and lost to San Francisco. This is his second year. He's made it all the way. And for the second year in a row, Don Shula has his Dolphins here in the Super Bowl. The Redskins captains are now meeting at midfield with the officials. They will have again the simulated coin toss. This is a specially struck coin with the head of the late Vince Lombardi on one side and Lombardi's code of winning on the other side. And those members of the winning team will get examples and copies of that original coin. Now the Dolphins, Kyle, as expected, and as we said before, at the regular coin toss, 30 minutes before the game, have signified to the crowd, not only have they won the toss, but will receive and will go from our left to right. That means they'll be going from west to east.
And it'll be interesting to see if they do what we anticipate, and that is come out with many different offensive sets to see how the Redskins will defend them. Bob Greasy. Interesting, we're talking about the quarterback. The fact that both of these clubs won most of their games this season with backup quarterbacks. Bob Greasy being injured, Earl Morrall filling in for him. Tony Jurgensen being injured, Billy Kilmer carrying the team for the balance of the season after that injury.
And Sonny Jurgensen, still injured, will be on the phones upstairs for the Washington Redskins today. The Dolphins are lined up on the 40 for the national anthem. Now the Redskins kick off a special green, dashes out to line up down near its end of the field on about the 35-yard line. And in just a moment, Captain Eugene Shannon, Commander Ronald Evans, and Dr. Harrison H. Smith will lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will hear, with the University of Michigan Band, the Little Angels, and our national anthem. So let's go down to the field. our spaceship America back to Earth, our astronauts bid farewell to the moon. Not the end of space exploration, but the beginning of man coming together. We invite you to join the Apollo 17 crew in the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now, to honor America, let's join the little angels in the singing of our national anthem. In August, throughout the regular season of 14 games, the playoff games, the conference championship, and now Rote. The talking is over. The reporting begins. The 7th Super Bowl is about to begin as Kurt Knight, number 5, tees it up for the Washington Redskins, who will be going from our right to left. Mercury Morris, number 22. Charlie Lee, number 23, go deep for the Dolphins. Morris on the near side. They'll try to get the football in. Charlie Lee, who also has great speed, on the far side, number 23. And Super Bowl VII, before 90,182 here, 75 million on television, another 75 on radio, is about to begin as the crowd under sunny skies comes to speed as Knight approaches the football and kicks off. A short kick. Mercury Morris at the 7, knocks the ball, picks it up at the 10, across the 20 and gets out near the 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. The temperature on the field as we begin this ball game is 86 degrees. John Shakespeare, one of the members of George Allen's specialty team, made the stop at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10. Wayne Moore is starting at left tackle over Doug Susan for the Dolphins. So the front line is Warfield, Ward, Kuchenberg, Langer, Little, Evans, and Fleming. Greasy, Tonka, and Pulley are in the backfield, and Jim Chick is starting over Mercury Morris. 20 wide to the right, Warfield wide to the left. First play goes to Chick, going off his own left side, and gets to the 24 after the 26-yard line, where he's stacked up there. Manny Sistrunk, number 64, strong against the run, and Ron McDowell and Berlin Biggs pinched in to make the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 8. As Chick goes out, and the man that the Dolphins have with the outside threat, Mercury Morris, comes in, number 22. 20 comes out wide to the right. Morris this time sets up to the left of Zonka. Chick had been set to the right. Warfield out to the left, not nearly as far as he was. Flanked earlier. Greasy calling signals. To Zonka. Zonka maybe got a yard or two out to the 28-yard line. Tracking over his own left side, and Rote, they are running at Berlin Biggs.
Well, I really anticipated that because if you don't run at big, he'll really kill you. If you give him any room to operate, any room to chase the play, he is so quick for a big man. He can do it. So they want to go right at him, try and nullify that ability of his to roam around and do damage to you that way. They'd rather go right at him and have him chase the play. Also, interestingly enough, they're going with the counter plays, too. Not going to Mart as he was in the backfield that time.
Redskins have 5 defensive backs. They've got 2 tight ends the Dolphins have, and both Flynn and Warfield to the right side. Greasy back for his first pass. Goes to Zonka coming out of the backfield, and down he goes and off on the play. Tackled by Jack Pardee, the left side linebacker, at the 27-yard line. The Dolphins fail to pick up the first down, and will have to kick the ball away. There's timeout. The time is not out yet, as going deep is Alvin Heyman. Larry Seipel steps back to do the punting. Ted Baxter goes back with Heyman, and this is the first time this year we have seen a double safety on punt for the Washington Redskins. Not an up man, not a deep man. They're back side by side, standing inside their 35-yard line. Seipel is at his own club. He's been averaging less than 40. Picks up at the line of scrimmage. Redskins have the football, and the flag goes down on the 27. With the football. There's a flag down, and we'll wait to see Tommy Bell. And they're having their first decision here. Penalty flag is down. Tommy Bell comes out. A legal procedure charged against the Redskins. It will not give them a first down. It will be 4th down and still short yardage to go.
Looks like they jumped over. I don't know who the man on defense was for Washington. Hit right on Howard Kindig, the center who comes in and centers for the Dolphins.
Greasy came back in. I feel that Greasy and his teammates figured that they had a first down, but it is not defensive holding, not an automatic first down at all. It is only 5 yards, and remember, there was a loss on the last play. That flipped them back. And so it is now 4th down and 2 with the ball at the 32-yard line. So Seipel is back in. And again, Baxter and Heyman go deep. No score, 12:28 to go, first quarter. Baxter and Heyman will be looking into the sun. And Seipel kicks them high. Seipel gets the ball away. Line drives this one, however. Heyman goes back, has it at the 18. Back across the 20. Great coverage there. He's back down at the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. The Redskins come out on offense for the first time.
Both of these clubs have outstanding kicking units and kick coverage units. Throughout the season, this has been a strength of both clubs, both outstanding in getting down, covering kicks.
High formation, Larry Brown the back man, Kilmer calling signals, Jefferson to the right, Taylor to the left, the lineups in a moment. First down from the 25 for the Redskins. Larry Brown has the ball for the first time, and Brown tracks out to the 28-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 7. Billy Kilmer 17, Larry Brown 43, Charlie Haraway 31. Wide receivers, Roy Jefferson 80, Charlie Taylor 42. Tight end is Jerry Smith 87. Walter Rock is at right tackle, John Wilbur at right guard, Len Hall is at center, Paul Laubig is the left guard. Terry Hermling is starting at left tackle today, number 75. Jefferson comes out to the left, Taylor to the right, 2nd down, and 7 to go from the 28-yard line. High formation once again. This time and again goes to Larry Brown as he tries to cut back the other way and gets perhaps to the 29 or 30-yard line. A gain of 2 as he stacked up in the middle. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Burns and Herter 83, Manny Fernandez 75, Bob Hines 72, Bill Sample 84. The front 4 for Miami. Doug Swift 59, Nick Monicani 85, Mike Colin 57, the linebackers. Lloyd Mumford starting in replace of the injured, the replacement for the injured Tim Foley at one cornerback. Curtis Johnson 45 at the other. Dick Anderson 40, Jake Scott 13. The safeties, as we have for the Redskins, an obvious passing situation on 3rd and 5. But they've been known to go to Larry Brown still again with long yardage to go. No score, 10:45 to go, 3rd and 5. Gilmer goes back, takes one way, throws to Larry Brown across the other way, across the 30-yard line. He's got the first down as he rolls across the 35-yard line. Little swing pass to the right. Gilmer looks to his left first, and then threw to Brown, who was delayed and gone out to his right, and sweeps to the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Washington.
Exactly as you call it, too, Jim. Gilmer wanting to try to influence the Miami linebackers made the little fake off to the left to Charlie Haraway, is up back in the I formation. At the same time, Larry Brown was assisting off to the right flat. He made the fake out to Haraway. The linebackers, some of them went with the fake. Then he fired it out to Brown.
Mac Alston in at tight end, number 81 on the left side for the Redskins. Again on the I formation. They've been on that all afternoon. This is just their fifth play from scrimmage. And there again is Larry Brown, and Brown picks up yardage 5 yards across the 42, squirming straight over the right side of his own line. Larry Brown, who gained 1,216 yards despite the fact that he did not play the last 2 games of the regular season. By not playing, he lost the National Football League rushing title to O.J. Simpson.
And both of these clubs, as we've seen, Jim, in their initial series, trying to establish that ground game. Both depend upon it very much. Both similar type ball clubs, and they are possession types, controlling the ball.
First time it got the back split in the backfield. Taylor to the left, Jefferson to the right on second down 5 from the 42 of Washington. He had no score in the first quarter. Here is Charlie Haraway carrying for the first time, and he is rolled down by Manny Fernandez, number 75. The fine left defensive tackle is pursued along the line of scrimmage and thrown for loss back to the 40-yard line, a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be third down and about 7 to go from the 40-yard line. Very hot on the Coliseum floor. At game time 86, that'll get tougher as the afternoon goes. Today, as it began here in Los Angeles, crystal clear. Now the smog is settling over the city. Jefferson right, Taylor left. Again the split back. Alston has gone out. Smith is in on the right side of the tight end. Gilmer back to throw. Looking and overthrows his man. A diving Larry Brown at the 47-yard line. And now the Redskins will have to punt the ball away, and Mike Bragg comes on to Dick as Dick Scott goes back in single safety.
Great pressure put on Gilmer that time by Bill Stanfill, the 4-year veteran from Georgia, coming in from his right defensive end position. Stanfill, second leading pass rusher or quarterback sacker for the Dolphins. He got 9.5 sacks to Vernon Herter's 10.5. Both outstanding pass rushers.
Bragg standing on the 25. Scott is inside his own 20-yard line. Redskins have managed 1 first down. The Dolphins none. There's no score. 8.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bragg gets a very high, very short kickoff. Scott races up to the 32 and takes it on the fair catch. That'll be first and 10 from there. First and 10 for the Dolphins as they get good field position at their own 32-yard line on the very short punt. And now in Los Angeles, they've called timeout, so there is timeout with the score. Miami nothing and Washington nothing.
Washington coach George Allen puts an awful lot of preparation into each ball game, and of course the Super Bowl by far no exception. He had a former punt return specialist out at the Los Angeles Coliseum at 12:30 in the afternoon to check where that sun would be. That's 12:30 Pacific Coast time, just to see how the sun lined up to let his punt return specialist know what they'd be facing. But Allen is still slightly miffed at the quoted odds in the game. He doesn't understand why Washington should be the favorite, considering the fact that Miami hasn't lost a game all year.
That's something I don't understand why we're slight favorites, because after all, the Dolphins have won 16 in a row. They have the leading offense in football, leading defense in football, and I don't understand why we're slight favorites.
Washington Redskins coach George Allen. They had an explanation for that penalty involving that snap on a punt in the 4th down play, interference with a center snap on the Redskins.
With Todd Rote, this is Jim Simpson back in California. Well, Larry Seifel, who is not known for kicking the long punt, boomed one for 50 yards, and Mike Bragg, who's got a slightly better punting average, kicked his for only 28 yards. Let's pause now 10 seconds for station identification.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
American Forces Radio in the Canal Zone. This is SCN, 790 and 1420.
First and 10 on their own 32. Patios is now the middle linebacker for the Redskins. Kick and Zonka in the split backfield. Warfield left, Willie right. Bob Greasy calling signals. Greasy hands off to the first man, Zonka, who just slides through the tackle of Darren Talbert and Ron McDowell and scoots out to the 39-yard line. And that's the first big gainer for the Miami Dolphins this afternoon. It'll be second down and 3 as Zonka picks up 7.
And looking at their defensive secondary, Jim, we're seeing that single coverage on everybody but Paul Warfield. field. They're double covering Paul. Mike Bass, the cornerback, and Roosevelt Taylor, the free safety, both over covering Paul.
Second down, I formation this time. The up man is Zonka, kicked behind him. Greasy calling signals, and out of the I, he's going to throw, throwing out to the left. Warfield is out there, and Mike Bass is right with him, but the Miami Dolphins come up with the first down across the 45 out to the 46-yard line. First and 10 for the Dolphins as they pick up their first down. Down and out went Warfield toward the sideline. Bass with him. Mike Bass almost overran Warfield to try to twist and get around him, but Bass threw him down at the 46. It'll be first and 10. Mercury Morris now comes in. He is the man that gives the Miami Dolphins their added dimension this year because Mercury can fly. He can give you the outside running game that Zonka and Kicker are not noted for. 20 right. Warfield left out of the I. Now Zonka sets as a flanker to the right. No score. Quick pitch back to Mercury Morris. Flag goes down. Morris trying to get out of it to the outside, and he is knifed inside and actually loses back to the 45-yard line, and holding is going to be charged against the Miami Dolphins. And that'll be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Trying to get Mercury Morris loose around the right side. The Dolphins were not only guilty of holding, which will cost them 15, but the Redskins' pursuit threw Morris out of bounds at the 45 for a yard loss.
And I think the man that got caught holding was Marv Fleming, the tight end.
Tommy Bell now giving the options to Jack Pardee. Pointing it out to the crowd what it is, and instead of the yard loss, of course, you're going to take the big 15 yards and make it first down and 25 as the ball is put back inside the nose of it right on the 30-yard line. 7 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the game is thus far as a standoff. Each team trying its running game. Each team has thrown some passes, but they have been the very short passes, out to the side. Nobody has gone over the middle with the football yet. They've either been little flare passes in the backfield or down and out toward the sideline. Nobody's gone for the big one. Bob Kuchenberg has been named as the man. He's the left guard, guilty of holding on that play. Twilly to the right, Warfield to the left. Split backs in the backfield for the Dolphins. Zonka and Morris. First and 25 from the 30-yard line. Greasy calling signals. Greasy going back to pass on first down. Has time. Now running out of time, and there he goes. Berlin knocks him down at the 17-yard line. Tremendous coverage by the Redskins in the secondary. Greasy had time, but nobody to throw to. And Berlin came in to knock him at the 17. They spotted the ball at the 18, and it'll be second down, and they have got to get to the 43-yard line of the Redskins for their first down. They're on their own 18.
Now, when you get good secondary coverage like that, we just saw the Redskins give, it certainly puts a lot of pressure on those offensive linemen. They're going to have to hold out that defensive line a lot longer. Greasy's going to have to go to alternate receivers a lot quicker.
Manny Sistrunk has come out as a defensive tackle for the Redskins. Bill Brundage, the better pass rusher, is in on second down and 38 yards to go. Mercury Morris trying to sweep the left side and is tripped up over there by the right cornerback, Mike Bass, at the 19-yard line and falls across the 20-yard line out to the 21. So that is a gain of 3, and it'll be third down and 35 yards to go.
Bass really did a super job. He eluded a block by Bob Kuchenberg, who was pulling out from his left guard position, and he just dove under him just enough to trip Morris up.
Al McClinton, been in at middle linebacker, comes out. Ted Factor goes in. This is what George Allen calls his nickel defense. Why nickel? Because there are 5 defensive backs in there. They'll put it in on third and long yardage, and this is third and 35 to go. Warfield to the left, fully flanked far to the right. Morris and Donker there. It is given to Morris straight up the middle, and he gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Far shy of the needed distance, and so now Larry Seipel, who the last time around punted it for 50 yards, comes in to do the punting again. They might point out that Seipel turned around the American Football Conference Championship when, as he set up for a punt and everybody fled downfield, he ran about 37 yards for a first down. But that was while he was about at midfield. In this particular case, he is standing back on his own 11-yard line, and Baxter and Heyman have gone deep, standing on their own 32-yard line. No score, 5:15 to go. First quarter, Super Bowl VII from Los Angeles. Seipel awaits the snap of the punt, gets a high pass, has time, gets the ball away. This is very short. It is Factor calling for a fair catch at the 41-yard line, and it'll be the Redskins' ball, first and 10 from the 41. 5:05 to go. And there's still no score. And there's timeout. Washington and Miami started.
Well, as has been expected, this is shaping up, at least in the early going, as being a defensive game. Washington, in the last 6 regular season games, did not score in the first quarter. Washington is definitely a second-half ball club, at least as far as its scoring is concerned. But these two teams trading off punts, and neither team has been able to sustain any kind of a drive. We mentioned on that mix-up in the first series for the Miami Dolphins on that punt, and the ball was flubbed up in the snap from center, but then on that penalty against Washington, that was an illegal procedure penalty against Washington. The reason for that penalty, somebody interfered with the center on that snap. That was why the snap was muffed up, so the Redskins were penalized 5 yards, and that's the explanation on that particular play. But so far, neither team making any great mistakes. That one 15-yard penalty against Miami for holding, but it has paid off for the Redskins, because in the last series they took over right around the 25. This time they have the ball up at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
This ball game thus far has been almost played between a 30-yard strike. We have no score. Nobody's had any real threat. And the biggest play of the game was the defensive play when Bob Greasy was thrown for a long loss. Redskins have the ball on their own 40. Jefferson to the left. Charlie Taylor to the right. Split back. Bill Kilmer calling signals. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kilmer hands the ball to Charlie Haraway, who steps away from one man and then is hit quickly by Doug Swift, the linebacker, and gets out to the 42-yard line. A gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You know, Jim, both clubs playing such well-coordinated defensive efforts out there. It looks like the first thing that's going to happen is going to be individual matchups that might determine the first break. Just as you pointed out a moment ago, Vernon Biggs beating his man into trap Bob Greasy. You'll find a wingback working on a cornerback, wide receiver, tight end working on the safety.
High formation, quick count, pitch back to Larry Brown. Brown slips and gets out to the 44-yard line as the flag goes down. Brown tried to come to the own left side, and now holding is charged against the Redskins, and that will cost them 15 yards. Second big holding penalty, one against the Dolphins, and now one against the Redskins. The Dolphins holding penalty came when they tried to get their speedster, Mercury Morris, outside, and now the Redskins trying to get Larry Brown outside have drawn a 15-yard penalty.
And every now and then you see Larry Brown laying on the ground an inordinately long time. You sometimes feel that he's injured, but he said he has a little philosophy about that. He sort of picked it up from the great Jim Brown. Lay down there as long as you can, get your rest as long as you can, and then when you get that ball, you just sort of get excited all over again.
A 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage takes the ball back to the 28-yard line. It is still 2nd down, and out of 2nd and 23 to go. Make it 2nd and 22. They have to get the ball just across midfield for the first down.
That holding penalty on Kerry Hermling, the left tackle for the Redskins.
Little backs in the backfield. Jefferson wide right, Taylor to the left. Kilmer calling signals from his own 28-yard line in the scoreless ball game. Well, he may be checking a long count at the line of scrimmage. Hands now to Larry Brown, and he is not going anywhere. Just barely did get back to the line of scrimmage. Manny Fernandez is right there to meet him, along with Bill Sansel.
The Dolphins using a 3-man rush on that. They brought in a 4th linebacker.
What they call their 53 defense. And the 53 is Bob Matheson, one of the best trade Don Shula figures that he has made, coming over from the Cleveland Browns. Matheson has played in the line for them at all 3 linebacker spots and will drop out the pass coverage. When he's in there, they call it the 53 defense with only 3 men rushing. Now it's 3rd down and about 20 to go. Jefferson to the right, Taylor to the left. The backs are split a good distance in the backfield. And Kilmer drops straight back to throw. Kilmer has time. Throws to Larry Brown. Gets a nice block. Across the 25, across the 30, and he's not going to go much farther than that as he took the pass in the backfield and had to run 6 or 7 yards to get 1 yard gain out to the 31. Bob Matheson and Mike Colon, the linebackers, made the stop. Now, again, defense takes over, and Kyle, now I know why you and I started this program, this report, talking about 10 minutes about defense before we got to the offense.
Well, it certainly proved that way thus far. And you just keep feeling that some break is going to happen, and the break that happens, the team that makes the few miscues, the drop punt, the bad judgment, will determine it.
Mike Bragg only had a 28-yard punt last time, standing back now in a 16. Jake Scott's the safety man inside his own 30-yard line. Bragg gets this kick away, and again, it is not a long kick. Scott comes up, no fair catch. He's lost the football. They're down Driving forward at the 37-yard line, it belongs to the Dolphins. Scott came up with a man right on him. Did not call for the fair catch. Lost the football. Everybody went for it. And it looked like Dick Anderson, number 40, jumped on that, and they have called timeout. So we'll call timeout, too. Timeout at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, with the score still Washington and Miami, 0-0.
Boy, a mistake like that can hurt very dearly, but fortunately the Dolphins were able to recover it. No fair catch signaled, and that same thing happened in the Dallas-Washington game for the National Football Conference, and I believe it was Tim Foley did not signal for a fair catch. He was hit, and he suffered a broken arm on the play. So, a possible mistake, and that deep in Miami territory, that could have caused plenty of troubles for the Miami Dolphins. But fortunately, Miami has recovered. It's very obvious that both teams are very tight in this opening minutes of the ball game, as we are now actually approaching the end of the first period. But it's something to be expected. You have two very outstanding football teams. One team trying to become the first team in the history of the National Football League to win 17 games in the course of a season. Miami 14-0 regular season, and they beat Cleveland 20-14 and Pittsburgh 21-17 in the playoffs. But yet the teams have yet to loosen up. But that will come soon.
Back in Los Angeles, Jim Simpson with Kyle Rote. Before play begins here, here's a program note for you sports fans, particularly golf fans. Be sure to listen to our PGA progress reports from all of the PGA golf tournaments every weekend on Monitor. Now, next week, as NBC Television moves into Tucson for the Dean Martin Open from Tucson, so will Monitor and our PGA progress reports. Those are heard all year long here on NBC. First down for the Dolphins from their own 37. That could have been the big break, but the Dolphins recovered as Scott Fummel, hand off the kick, starts off his own left side, gets out to the 39-yard line, and that is about all. Chris Handberger, the weak side linebacker, number 55. Don Talbot, number 72, also in there, and Myron Padios came up in the middle. Padios and McClinton are burying in the middle, and Brundage and Sistrunk are taking turns at left tackle, depending upon the situations. Normally, if they expect them to run, Sistrunk and Padios will be in there. If it's a pass, Brundage and McClinton. No score from the 39-yard line. Come the Dolphins, second down and about 7. 2:22 to go, first quarter. Split backs in the backfield. Warfield is to the left. Twilley is to the right. Greasy hands the ball to kick, trying to come around the right side, has some running room, and is finally knifed down. He may have the first down as he gets across the 45-yard line. Handberger and Pardee came out to make the stop, and Verlin Biggs came all the way across from his right defensive end spot to make the tackle at the other end of the line of scrimmage. That's the first down for the Miami Dolphins. 1:54 to go. If you have just joined us, there has been no serious threat by either squad. There have been no long gainers. There's only been one big play, and that was a defensive sack of quarterback Bob Greasy by Verlin Biggs. Other than that, it's even Steven. Dolphins trying to get something going now from their own 47-yard line. High formation this time. Greasy back to throw. So Warfield is by himself down the left sideline. Boy, he ran right by Mike Bass. The weak side safety, Greg Owens had to come over. And Mike Bass was just all by himself, and Warfield ran right by him as he's thrown out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
And, Jim, that's really about the only spot that you can complete that pass against the type of zone the Redskins are going into. Mike Bass was going to be the short man. Owens was going to be the deep man. And there's a spot right between them. If the ball is thrown right on the button, you can do it, and that's what happened.
Third Miami first down. Warfield again goes to the left. Twilley is flanked to the right. Split back to the backfield. First down from the 34. Larry Zonka is hit hard by Tyron Talbert and Ron McDowell. McDowell, the initial tackles, they get down to the 31-yard line where they'll spot it there. Let's call it a gain of about 2.5 and call it 2nd and 8. 1:14 to go. This is the deepest drive by either team. The Dolphins have just come up with their third first down. Redskins deployed defensively. Dolphins out of the huddle, sending Warfield again to the left, Twilley to the right. They're in the I formation this time. Now they shift out of it with Bronco flanking to the left. Kick the only man on the backfield as a setback. Greasy with a long call. Hands the ball to kick, and kick slides through for a couple of yards down to the 28-yard line. It'll be third down and about 5 from there. Ron McDowell again in on the stop. Kick kind of fell down, and Ron McDowell made sure he was down.
That's what you really like about a runner that runs like Jim Kick does. He just just seems to knife through, has this great balance, great ability to swerve just a little bit at the last moment, gets every yard possible to get. Very smart runner.
Third down and 5. On occasions when the Dolphins have needed a first down on third down, they have not made it in 3 previous attempts. Yepremian along the sideline, and KC's called on. Third down and 5. The Dolphins want the first down, of course. Slip back to the backfield. Greasy back. Greasy looking to throw. Greasy throwing for Twilly. Takes it 5, and Twilly goes in for the score. Greasy had all the time in the world, and Twilly just got between the Redskin defenders. A play of 28 yards touchdown Miami.
You know, Jim, Howard Twilly, not known for his speed at all, just turned Pat Fisher, who is one of the best defensive backs in the business, turned him right around, gave him a deep inside move toward the goalpost, then back out toward the corner, and he had Fisher turned completely around, the ball right on target. Howard Twilly, just amazing. Great hands, not much speed, all the moves in the world. Very smart, very cagey type of runner. Just
1 second to go. 1 second to go. 4 for 4 Greasy in that drive. 28 yards. Yepremian is in. Morrill to hold at the 10-yard line. Yepremian's extra point is perfect. And with a second to go, here in the first quarter, it is Miami that has scored first. Well, again, as we can go back to the weeks of preparation for this game, so many things have been said. Even the people that you talk to, the same people, have changed their minds. George Allen spoke to the Redskins getting on the plane in Washington, said, it'll take 24 points to win the game. George Allen got off the plane in Los Angeles and said, it'll be a very low-scoring ball game. We shall see. It is the Miami Dolphins who have drawn first blood on a picture play, as Twilly, as Kyle pointed out, turned Pat Fisher right around.
It'll be interesting, too, now, Jim, to see what happens to the Redskins. The Dolphins, with Super Bowl experience and big pressure game experience, where if they were trailing, it might be different. They would, I think, have the poise to hold up. We will see if the Redskins do.
Herb Mulkey has gone in. He is the middleman of the 3-man setup to return the kick. Bob Brunet and Alvin Heyman are the other ones. And Yepremian will kick off with 1 second to go in the quarter. Mulkey is very fast, no college experience. They kick the ball very short. It'll be picked up by Heyman, who's very dangerous at the 15, across the 20, across the 25, and slides out across the 30-yard line. It'll be first and 10 at the 30-yard line right there. Time on the scoreboard clock has run out. So that's the end of the first quarter. And with a second to go, Miami did it. So we say that's the end of the first quarter with a score of Miami 7 and Washington nothing.
Washington defensive back Pat Fisher was beaten badly by Twilly on that last play, and Fisher has some thoughts on some of the problems of stopping that Miami running and passing game. We'll get to those thoughts of Pat Fisher, who was talking about that. It is a problem, and here are some of the reasons why.
Larry Zonka, my concern will be his size again. If he can get turned upfield, he's a difficult person to tackle. He's 240 pounds. The idea will be to tackle him as low as possible and get him down. Two fellows gaining over 1,000 yards, and the other one probably would have if you could just play 3 backs in the backfield. But Mercury Morris, of course, with his outstanding speed and great balance, he has to be rated as one of the top backs in the National Football League. Chick, of course, he's in there alternating with Morris constantly. So, and I think he's an excellent pass receiver also.
That was Washington defensive back Pat Fisher talking about the Miami running game.
Don Shula of the Dolphins says, if we're within 10 points in the fourth quarter, I figure we're in the ball game with a great chance to win. The Washington Redskins, history shows that over the year they have had to come back. Not only come back, but come back in the second half or even the fourth quarter. So it is not unusual for the Redskins or the Dolphins to be behind. But it sure is nice to be out in front. And that's where the Dolphins are right now. And, Carl, we note that they have not yet tested Lloyd Mumford, the one man filling in at left corner for Tim Foley.
No, they haven't, and this is something that we expected them really to do early. Go at Mumford. Mumford, as Jim pointed out, filling in for the injured Tim Foley. However, he's a good experienced man, 4 years in the league.
Billy Kimmel brings him out. He's 1 for 3 for 7 yards from a 31-yard line. Greasy's 4 for 4. Hands this off to Larry Brown. Larry Brown runs right into Den Herter. Nobody took out that left defensive end. Not blocked at all. Then Herter played his position perfectly and threw Larry Brown. He may have gotten a half a yard. Let's call it second down and still 10. From the Redskins bench, we get information that Ted Baxter is a punt return man. He is also a man that is the fifth man on the nickel defense, has injured his left knee. Whether or not he'll be able to come back, we don't know. 14:32 to go in the first half of the Super Bowl number 7. It is 7-0 Miami. I formation, Jefferson wide left, Taylor's to the right, Haraway and Brown of the setbacks behind Bill Kilmer's calling signals on second down and 9, gives to Haraway. Haraway may have gotten a yard trying his own left side. The Redskins offensive line is not moving at all at defensive front four of the Miami Dolphins. That time, Hines, along with Fernandez, made the stop. It'll still be third down and, Kyle, about 8.5 or 9 yet.
And this shows great confidence by the Redskins in their own attack. There's a tendency, of course, when you go behind 7-0 to start opening up a little quicker than perhaps you normally would. Gilmer's staying with what he knows best, what he thinks can go. He's going to make this ground game go.
Hines is out at tackle, and Bob Matheson comes in on the 53 defense on third down and a long 8 to go. Split backs now. Taylor left, Jefferson right. Gilmer is 1 for 3 back to throw. Has some time, throws across the middle, and it is almost, or is it intercepted by Jake Scott? It is. He fell down, gets up with the ball, knocked down again. Intended downfield for Charlie Taylor, overthrown. Scott leaped high in the air, got a hand on it, went down with it. The ball landed on his stomach. Nobody had touched him. He scrambled up and ran back to the 49-yard line. And there's the first real turnover of the game. The Dolphins with the ball on their own 40, let's mark it at the 47-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Larry Brown walks slowly off the field, now begins to trot. As the Dolphins huddle and come out of it. Here's a chance for the Dolphins really to move out if they can. Willie goes to the right. Warfield to the left. Split back to the backfield. Greasy, let's see what he'll do after the turnover on first down from the 47-yard line. Greasy fakes, hands, goes out to pass, throws, has his tight end, Mar Fleming. Fleming is dragged down as he gets inside the 30-yard line by Myron Patios at the 27. And a flag is down back at the 44-yard line. Greasy rolled to the right, stayed there. The cornerback came up. He threw over into the tight end, Mar Fleming. But it looks like the penalty will be against the Dolphins as they are coming up back. Ineligible receiver downfield as Greasy rolled to the right. Could be, Kyle, that he was rolling out on a bootleg and decided not to, and everybody had released.
Well, actually, he had a deep pattern going over to Twilly deep. Mar Fleming coming across from the tight end spot. I believe it really was a pass play. However, in faking that bootleg, one of the pulling linemen got across the line of scrimmage, unknowingly, obviously. And that's the penalty. All back a good game.
Takes the ball back to now the 38-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. 12:59 to go. We are in the second quarter. Dolphins lead it by 7. And it'll be first down and 25. And Bob Kuchenberg, who was guilty earlier of holding on the play, is guilty this time of releasing and going across the line of scrimmage. Warfield to the left. Marlon Briscoe is now into the right. Briscoe is not only a fine receiver, but he can throw the ball. They'll have to watch out for that. He is flanked out to the right. Greasy with a split backfield. Hands off. And going is Rick Remorse across the middle and gets to about the 41-yard line. A pickup of 3. It'll be second down from there, and 22 yards to go.
And both of these teams, as you find out that Marlon Briscoe can throw the ball, both of these teams use the reverse. They haven't used it as yet. They use it to good advantage through the playoffs, throughout the entire season. Warfield on the reverse for Miami, and of course Charlie Taylor on reverse for the Redskins.
Split backs. Morrison Zark in the backfield now on second down and 22 yards to go from the 41 of Miami. Greasy, long count at the line of scrimmage, now has the ball, hands to Larry Zonka. Zonka looking for running room and gets some as Redskins in a prevent defense, not bunched up, everybody dropping back, and Zonka is able to move out across the 45-yard line to the 47-yard line. But it'll still be third down and about 15 to go. Chris Handberger made the stop as Zonka goes across the field.
You were talking about Ted Vactor being injured and not knowing to what extent. Apparently not bad. He's just checked in for Harold McClinton, the middle linebacker, so they have their 5 defensive backs in now.
Third down down and 5. Jim Chick and Mercury Morrison down there. Zonka went out after that run. Reese goes back to throw. Coming out of the backfield is Chick, and he's met head on as he hits midfield. Knocked down hard by Jack Pardee, the left side linebacker, and now the Dolphins will have to kick the football away. Larry Seipel comes on. Alvin Heyman goes deep to handle a punt return for the Redskins, who trailed 7-0. 11:05 to go. First half. Coliseum under smog now. Very warm day, and I would imagine rather uncomfortable down on the field. Vactor, as Kyle pointed out, is back in, and Heyman and Vactor are now on a double safety, standing at the 11 and 12-yard line. Seipel gets the punt away from his own 40, drives it quickly. It is Alvin Heyman back, lets it go into the end zone, almost caught the ball at the 6-yard line, then let it go into the end zone. It goes out. It'll be the Redskins' ball, first and 10 at their own 20. So with 11, or rather make it 10:40 to go in the first half, we pause from Los Angeles. There's timeout with the score, Miami 7 and Washington nothing.
Although the Super Bowl is unquestionably the feature attraction on Sunday, there's lots of other sports activity. Headlining the pro hockey card is the Buffalo-Boston game on Sunday night in Boston. In pro basketball, an afternoon game, Los Angeles beat Atlanta 102-100. And in college basketball, a big showdown between second-ranked Maryland and fourth-ranked North Carolina State. In an Atlantic Coast Conference game, North Carolina State came out on top 87-85. In golf, Greer Jones is the leader by 2 strokes over J.C. Smead and by 3 over Dave Hill, entering the final round of the Phoenix Open. So that's what's going on in sports on this Super Sunday stateside as the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Redskins go at it in Super Bowl VII. Miami leading it by the score of 7-0 on a 28-yard touchdown pass from Bob Greasy to Howard Twilley in about the last offensive play Miami had in the first quarter. Gary Premium's extra point, and that's the score, 7-0 Miami.
Across the way, Harold Twilley is having his right calf worked on. I don't know whether he's pulled a muscle or suffered a cramp, but Twilley is lying there on the field with something cool to drink. Doesn't seem too bothered, but that is why Briscoe came in for the Dolphins. First and 10 for the Redskins. They trail 7-0, have the football at their own 20-yard line. Charlie Taylor trots out to the left. Roy Jefferson comes to the right. Caraway and Brown are split in the backfield. The Redskins have not mounted an offensive move at all today. Ball is handed to Larry Brown, coming to the right side, and gets maybe out to the 22 or 23-yard line. Doug Swift is right there, Manny Fernandez, and Mike Colin. Colin came from the other side. As football defensive players read keys of what their opponents are doing, the man that they're charged with, so do the officials. You'll find that the referee, the umpire, the head linesman all follow keys just as the players do to cover their own zone. Jefferson to the left, Taylor to the right. This time it is a split backfield. Brown cheating a little bit to the right side as Kilmer now yells something to either one of them on second down and 8 to go. Kilmer drops straight back to throw, has time, gets it across the middle, and it is caught there by Charlie Taylor. Out to the 32-yard line, makes it to 33. First down for the Redskins. And that's the first down they've had in some time. The first time they got the ball, they moved for a first down, and this is their second first down of the game. And Kilmer's second completed pass. He has been intercepted once. A 28-yard pass play from Bob Greasy to Harold Twilley is the only score of the game.
And Jake Scott, the Dolphins safety man, was on Brown at the point. He was covering him. Just came in a little late. The ball was perfectly thrown.
Taylor to the left, Jefferson to the right. Kilmer calling signals, rolling out hands to Larry Brown, and Brown staggers out to the 35-yard line. He was actually tripped as he hit the line of scrimmage and picked up 2.5 yards on the play. Let us call it second down and 8 from the 35-yard line. Burned in Herder made the stop there. What a career he has had. This is only his second year. He's from Central Iowa College, and this is his second Super Bowl.
And they really have choked off the running of Larry Brown thus far. Brown has carried the ball 8 times for a total of about 18 yards now.
Second down and 7. And the big Redskin contingent here starts yelling, go. Their team has been stalled. Miami's defense, number 1 in the American Football Conference, doing an excellent job. Kilmer calls signals. Kilmer's going back to throw. Looks, has time, and throws, and it is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver on the sideline. Lloyd Mumford, that's the first time they've tested him, was there to guard Charlie Taylor. Would have been enough for the first down at the 47, but went in and out of the hands of Charlie Taylor. That brings up a big third down situation again.
And you can hear the fans here yelling, go. Of course, a big contingent from Washington out here, but also 8 Ram players, former Ram players, are now with the Redskins. Darren Talbert, Jack Pardee, John Wilbert, George Berman, Alvin Heyman, Myron Padios, and a couple of fellows on their ready reserve, Richie Pettibone and Tommy Mason. So they're almost like playing before their old fans.
This is the 5th third down conversion attempt for the Redskins. They've made good on only 1. Kilmer sends Jefferson left. Taylor right, split backfield. Goes back to the pass, but hands to Larry Brown instead, and nobody at all took Manny Fernandez out of the play as he throws him behind the line of scrimmage at the 34-yard line, and Mike Bragg will have to come on in front again. The Miami defense has just looked excellent this afternoon. They lead 7-0, and they have shut off the Redskins with but 2 first downs, and we have got 8 minutes to go in the half. Back deep goes Jake Scott, who has an interception. He also tried to field a punt moments ago, but a man right in front of him fumbled it. But fortunately for the Dolphins recovered. Bragg stands back inside his own 20-yard line. Scott is back on his 20. Bragg with the ball under no rush, gets the ball off, filing towards Scott at the 28-yard line. Excellent coverage, steps around a couple of people, and finally knifed down by Haraway. Charlie Haraway makes the stop. Make that Mac Austin instead, beg your pardon, the tight end at the 31-yard line. There's time out here in Los Angeles with the score with 7:35 to go in the first half. Miami, 7. Washington, nothing.
Manny Fernandez, Miami's veteran defensive end who stopped Larry Brown on that third down play that forced Washington into a punt, is a 6'2", 250-pound veteran from Utah. 5 years in the National Football League, and he figures that this is probably the best balanced squad that Miami is facing all season.
Great in my estimation. 2 good running backs, complemented by a quarterback that mixes up the offense as well as any I've seen all year. They do a real good job of influence blocking. They do a real good job of staying with the men. Their offensive line will just hang right in there. They'll take you whichever way they can, and they let you more or less make up your mind which way you want to go, and they run you right down that line. It just seemed like a hungry football team.
That's Miami veteran defensive end Manny Fernandez, a 5-year veteran from Utah. We said earlier that on a punt it was Tim Foley that broke his arm against the Redskins. It was Charlie Waters, the secondary man for Dallas, who suffered that broken arm.
With Carl Rote, this is Jim Simpson. The word on Howard Trilly, who is the only man to score in this ball game, catching the 28-yard pass from Greasy. A muscle spasm in his right leg, so of course he'll be ready a little bit later on. Dolphins have the football on their own 32-yard line. They are out in front, 7-0 here in the first half. Marlon Briscoe is still in for Howard Twilley. Briscoe goes wide to the right. Warfield is to the left. High formation in the backfield. Greasy was 5 for 5 for 50 yards and a touchdown, calling signals. Greasy hands to the first man through Zonker, breaks a couple of tackles, gets across the 40-yard line, across the 45, and it'll be marked right at the 45-yard line. Zonker that time simply broke tackles, and the weak safety, Roosevelt Taylor, had to make the stop. And that's a gain from the 32 to the 45 of 13 yards. First and 10 for the Dolphins.
It's interesting, too, Jim, that the Redskins have been in a very tight 4-man line. They're still running inside, even against that, which is supposed to designed to stop the inside running.
First down from the 45-yard line, the I formation. Quick pitch to kick, trying to get outside. Has blockers in front of him, cuts back inside, and picks up 6 or 7 yards. Gets into Redskin territory for 48. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
At 790 and 1420 in the Canal Zone, this is SCN Radio, an affiliate of the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
And they're trying to get another first down now. They've got second down and about 3 to go. Mercury Morris is checked in. kick has gone out. That's been going on all year. So now you've got Morris and Zonka. Each man gained more than 1,000 yards during the regular season. They're in I formation. The fake pitch back to Morris. Greasy back to throw. There's a flag down. Long pass downfield. Warfield at the 10. He scores. There's a flag down, so hold on. Flag down, remember we called. They're running back toward the Dolphins. Bench. Tommy Bell has been told what it is. Here he comes over to give us the preliminary signal. Stands here a legal procedure motion charge against the Dolphins. And instead of a touchdown pass of 47 yards, it is called back.
Oh, yeah, that is a heartbreak for Dolphin fans. Such a beautiful play. Warfield cutting from left to right. Just wide open. Greasy faking the draw to hold up any linebackers, keep them out of dropping too far.
So it'll be second down, and about 8 to go. It was 2nd and 2. When Greasy faked to Zonka going through the line, then faked the pitch to Morris, and then threw long to Warfield, and as Kyle said, everybody was standing around except Warfield, and he went the full 47 yards only to have it called back. Arlen Briscoe charged with being in motion on the play. 2nd down and 8. Twilley has come back in. Apparently that muscle spasm and his leg is all right. He is out to the right. Warfield is out to the left. On 2nd down and 8. Now there is a pitch to Mercury Morris trying to get outside. Pat Fisher plays him well. Allows him to get to the 50-yard line, and that's all. As Fisher rolls him out of bounds at the 50-yard line after a gain of 2.5. It'll be 3rd down and a little bit more than 5 from midfield.
Howard Twilley, the split wide man to the right, coming back, making what they, I guess, has now become the infamous type of crackback block on Jack Pardee, bringing Mercury around the corner, at least letting him get up as far as he did.
The Redskins, 11-3-0 in the regular season, have not allowed a touchdown to Green Bay or Dallas in the division playoff of the conference championship. They've given up one today to the Dolphins and nearly another, but for illegal motion that called it back. They're down a little bit more than 5. Zonka's flank kick, Mercury Morris is the only setback in the backfield. Twilley to the right, Warfield to the left. Greasy back to throw. Has time. Now he doesn't. He goes down under Dyron Calvert, the best pass rusher the Redskins have, as Greasy's back for the second time today. Back at the 43-yard line. A loss on the play. It'll be 4th down and 12 to go. And Alvin Heyman and Ted Baxter come out on the field, and it'll be Larry Seipel to punt the ball away. Seipel has been punting very well today. He's been averaging about 44.5 yards per punt. His first punt, boom, for 50 yards.
There's always that danger of him running, as you recall in the Pittsburgh playoff game. I don't think he would risk it at this point in the game here.
5:50 to go. First half, Miami 7, Washington nothing. Seipel has the ball now, steps into it, punts it away. That is Alvin Heyman at the 15-yard line, and down he goes at the 16 or 17-yard line as the pursuit was just excellent downfield. Well, there is timeout here in Los Angeles. With the score still, the Dolphins of Miami 7, the Redskins of Washington nothing.
Well, if tradition has its way, the Dolphins should be able to hold on and win this ball game. But if Don Shula's bad luck runs true, well, then it'll be the Redskins collecting those $15,000 winning paychecks. The tradition favoring the unbeaten Dolphins when they take the field against the Redskins is that no team has ever lost 2 Super Bowls. And this is Miami's 2nd Super Bowl. 4 teams have appeared twice in the previous 6 games, and all 4 have won the second time. The Green Bay Packers, who appeared in the first Super Bowl in January of '67, won again in 1968. The other 3 were losers who won on their second chance. The Colts, upended by the Jets in 1969, won in 1971. And the Kansas City Chiefs, losers to Green Bay in the first game, trounced Minnesota in 1970. The Dallas Cowboys, who lost to Baltimore in 1971, took the Super Bowl last January. So that is if tradition has its way, but we'll have to see. There's still a lot of time left to play.
Redskins fall on their own 17-yard line. They've only had a couple of first downs all day. They have never really seriously threatened or even been within field goal range of the tough Miami Dolphins, who are the first team in National Football League history to go through 14 straight games without a loss. Jefferson to the right, Taylor to the left. It's an I formation now behind Billy Kilmer, calling signals from his own 17. Passing on first down, down and out Patterson. to Jefferson, who has the ball and out to the 24-yard line. Again from the 17 to the 24. It is second down and 3 from there. Lloyd Mumford was worked on again there. That's the second time. First it was Taylor. The ball was overthrown. This time it was Roy Jefferson, and Mumford knocked him out of bounds after the 7-yard gain.
And a very safe type of pass. I'm sure Stomer, a little gun shy right now, having gone up into the middle his only time and having it picked off by Jake Scott.
Jefferson this time goes to the other side, to the left, and Charlie Taylor to the right. Again, the I formation. Mac Austin's the tight end on the left side. Kilmer calling signals, gives it to the first man, Haraway. He's got his best run of the day across the left side. First down, out to the 32-yard line goes Charlie Haraway. Tackled out there by the free safety, Jake Scott, coming up from the secondary. That's the best run over the middle of the line that the Redskins have had. That Dolphin defense has been very tough through the middle. Matter of fact, it's been very tough, period. The ball spotted at the 33-yard line. It is first down and 10 to go there for the Redskins.
It really has. The Dolphins have held the Redskins to just 27 yards on the ground, 26 yards in the air, and almost 4 minutes left in the half.
Not an I formation this time. Split back. Taylor left. Ball is handed to Charlie Taylor on the end around. He's across the 35-yard line, across the 40-yard line, bumps out of bounds. It is not a first down as he gets to the 41-yard line. Lloyd Mumford came up along with Dick Anderson and Nick Monicani to knock him out of bounds. Taylor, like Warfield, will run the end around. Taylor used to be a running back when he first came in the National Football League. 4:16 to go, first half from Los Angeles. On a hot day for January 14th, the temperature in the middle 80s. Lots of smog in the area. Jefferson goes out to the left. It is second down and a couple of yards to go. Taylor to the right. This time it is the I formation. Austin, the tight end, is on the left side. Gilmer calls signals against the 5-man line. Gives it to the first man, Haraway. Haraway's got the first down out to the 45-yard line. And, Kyle, this is what you've been saying all along. Despite the fact they're down, despite the fact they haven't been picking up first downs, they got another one there. The Redskins continue to stick right with their game plan.
Well, I think it's probably the smartest thing to do. They know what they can do. It just takes a little while to make some adjustments. I'm sure they're constantly in touch with their press box upstairs where we are, talking with their scouts, their coaching staff, assistant coaches, as to what Miami is doing to them. Adjust the block here, maybe just adjust one assignment so that they're not panicking.
That's their first down. It's first and 10 from the 45 of Washington. Trailing 7-0. I formation. Jefferson right. Taylor to the left. Again, the first man through, and Haraway does well to pick up a yard. Manny Fernandez was simply waiting for Charlie Haraway. It's the one that Manny didn't grab the football, too. Haraway did well to pick up a half a yard on the play. Let's call it simply second down 10. He did gain a little bit, but not that much. Clock continues to run with 3:10 to go in the half. Austin comes out. Jerry Smith, who has played both flanker and tight end, has come in as the tight end. He has been the tight end all year long, but on one occasion in his career with the Redskins, he was called on to play as a flanker. Led the National Football League as a pass catcher one year for tight ends. Jefferson goes out to the left. Smith is on the left side. Taylor comes to the right. It is not an I formation. Brown and Haraway split in the backfield on second down and nearly 10 yards to go. Gilmer calling signal. Gilmer hands the ball to Brown going around the left side across the 50-yard line and bumped down there by Dick Anderson as he picks up perhaps 6 yards on the play. Anderson, the strong side safety, makes the stop at the 49-yard line, and the Redskins have moved into Miami territory with 2:23 to go.
And Larry Brown, really a durable runner. He took a shot from Dick Anderson there. When Anderson popped him, Brown's helmet flew off. Larry Brown, what a durable guy, and what a tremendous career he's had. Pro Bowl selection every year he's been in the league. Unanimous this year.
Third down and nearly 4. The 53 defense for the Dolphins. The Redskins have nudged the ball over into the territory of the Miami Dolphins for the first time this afternoon. We'll repeat again. The whistle has blown, and the 2-minute warning is here. We'll repeat again the only score. The Miami Dolphins, with 1 second to go in the first quarter, scored on a 28-yard pass from Bob Greasy to Howard Twilley. Twilley had Pat Fisher turned completely around. It was on a 3rd down 5 situation. The Dolphins had moved 63 yards in 6 plays. 15 of those 63 yards came on a penalty against the Washington Redskins on defense, which gave them a big jump in their drive, but nevertheless, Greasy has been just perfect this afternoon. Greasy has 5 for 5 for 56 yards, the touchdown. He has been sacked twice for 19 yards.
And I believe, Jim, this is the first time the Redskins have crossed midfield with the ball offensively. They're now on about the 48.5-yard line.
Well, when you talk about Super Bowl, you talk about super happenings. Not only is this a fine football game of the two best teams according to their records and how they got here in the National Football League, but at halftime, we have the University of Michigan Band and such entertainers as Sammy Davis Jr. and Andy Williams. We have already been entertained by the Michigan Band, and we've already met the 3 astronauts who have just come back in recent weeks from their last trip of the 20th century to the moon in an Apollo flight. So before these 90,182, before the 75 million watching on television and the like number listening on radio, this is a super production. Right now, the Redskins are hoping something super will happen to them. They're down 7-0.
And, Jim, it's interesting how they both got into this game in their playoffs. Completely different playoff experiences. The Redskins rolling over Green Bay and Dallas, limiting both clubs to no touchdowns at all, just field goals, while the Dolphins struggled through, had to come behind from both the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers to get there.
Taylor left, Jefferson right. They're not in the I formation. Browns on the left side, Haraway to the right. On 3rd down and a long 3. Jefferson, Kilmer goes back. It is intercepted as he falls. Buoniconti makes the interception. Down the right sideline he goes, and he's dragged out of bounds as he gets to the 28-yard line. The second interception of the afternoon for the Miami Dolphins. And with Gary Ukrainian there, you would feel that the Dolphins would go to the locker room with at least a 10-0 lead, and perhaps a 14-0 lead. They've had a 47-yard touchdown pass called back. On that play, Swift was blitzing Kilmer. He released a little early and released it right into the middle of a pack of Dolphins, and Nick Buoniconti is the man who came up with it. 20 goes to the right, Warfield to the left. From the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for Miami. They lead 7-0 in the closing moments of the first half. Greasy has a split backfield behind him. Bob is calling signals. Greasy hands off, and it is Chick who gets down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Tackled there by McDowell and Sistrunk. And it'll be 2nd down from there, 2nd and about 7.
And it's important now. The last time the Dolphins made the interception, Jake Scott's earlier interception, they were unable to capitalize on it. They now are already in field goal range. They should not walk off the field with less than a field goal attempt, whether they make it or not. See how Greasy operates with that possibility.
2nd down, he sends Twitty again to the right. The dangerous Warfield to the left. Greasy calling signals, hands to Zonka. Zonka spins away from one tackler, that's McDowell, and gets down near the 22-yard line. Bounced right off McDowell, who was blocked very hard by Mar Fleming, the tight end. The putdown was finally made by Manny Sistrunk as Zonka got to the 22-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, and here is your big play. 3rd down and about 4.5 to go.
52 seconds. Clock running now 49-48.
3rd down. Do they get the chance to go on for the touchdown, or do they settle for the field goal? They'll take either if they can get them. They're both Twilly and Warfield to the right side. Fisher comes over to Jordan. Pass. Greasy goes back to throw. Greasy looks and throws. Mandich is there and rolls out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Jim Mandich, the other tight end. It'll be 1st and goal to go. They put the wide receivers to the left. That took away both quarterbacks and put them on the left side. And Jack Pardee, the left side linebacker, had to cover Jim Mandich. And Mandich made a remarkable diving catch at the 2-yard line.
He really did. The clock shows 28 seconds left to play in the half.
19-yard play. 1st and goal to go for the Dolphins. And let us say the Dolphins have dominated this game throughout the entire first half. Split backfield, nobody flanked wide. Warfield is set as a flanker just outside the right side of the line of scrimmage. Kick trying to go wide. Kick fighting his way. Kick down to about the 1. Still fighting and held up there by a passel of Redskins. And quickly they call timeout with 21 seconds to go.
And the Dolphins had all 3 timeouts remaining to them, so now they have 2 left. 21 seconds to utilize those 2 timeouts.
Here are the Miami Dolphins, not only number one in total defense, but number one in total offense. Perfect record. 14 games without a loss. Then they defeated Cleveland and Pittsburgh to get to the Super Bowl. But they're number one in rushing, setting an all-time National Football League record, eclipsing that of the Lions back in 1936 of 2,960 yards. And for the first time in history, they have two men in the same backfield with 1,000 yards or more games. And when you talk about that, any football player and a knowledgeable fan will tell you that offensive line has to be something, and it is really moving the Redskins' defensive line.
Jim, it's not surprising they went with Jim Kick. It's also not surprising that the Redskins might have been expecting it. As we saw in their playoff game against Cleveland, Kick was the bread and butter man for the winning touchdown. Against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jim Kick scored in fact, their last two touchdowns.
Marv Fleming is joined by another tight end, Jim Mandich, who just made that remarkable 19-yard catch. Against Minnesota earlier in the year, Mandich made the winning touchdown catch. It was a pass of only 3 yards. So Bob Greasy, remarkable quarterback, hurt in the fifth game, did not really come back. He played a few series in the Baltimore game, the last game of the series. Did not really come back until the second half of the Pittsburgh Conference Championship. Greasy is something else again to watch. So, will he run, kick again? Zonka, will he bootleg it out? Will he throw to his tight end? He comes out with a back split. Same formation as before. Warfield just slightly as a flanker outside the right side of his offensive line. Kick and Zonka the setback. It goes to Kick again, and Kick gets near the goal line. Touchdown! Well, the Dolphins like to do things late, and if they get them accomplished, they scored their first touchdown with 1 second to go in the first quarter. They score their second with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And the Redskins fans and the Redskins themselves know that they've got to turn this completely around in the second half, or this is Miami big.
And what a great job that Miami offensive line is doing. Also, Larry Zonka pulling in there ahead of Kick, doing some great blocking.
The Dolphins, who did not score a touchdown in last year's Super Bowl, have 2 in the first half this year against the Redskins. Premian will kick. Morrill holding at the 10-yard line. The snap, the ball is put down. It is up, and it is perfect. 18 seconds to go. Miami's out in front, 14-0. Well, here was one of those big breaks on a blitz. Billy Kilmer released the ball a little early, a little high, a softly thrown pass. A sitting duck for Nick Monicani, who made the second Miami interception of the afternoon. Bob Greasy, on the other hand, has just been letter perfect. 6 for 6, 75 yards, and a touchdown. The Redskins defense on occasion has been befuddled, on occasion has been very tough. The Miami defense has been tough. The Miami offense has been opportunistic and has been tough.
This has got to affect Billy Kilmer, too. Every time he's gone up the middle, with one exception, a little short pass to Larry Brown, he's been intercepted. He's got to be gun-shy by going into the middle for the second half.
The Premian will kick off. Alman Heyman, Bob Brunet are on the sides, and Herb Mulkey is in the middle. They're keeping this one kicked along the ground, picked up by Heyman on the far side, and he's going to run out of bounds, and does so as he gets across the 30-yard line. It'll be marked at the 33-yard line, and with 14 seconds to go, the Redskins will take an opportunity to put some points on the board. That should bring in for Miami their famous 53 defense. A prevent defense, knowing that they've got to go 67 yards to get a score. And they've only got 14 seconds to go. Bob Matheson has come in. Well, we were talking about the smog, and not being a native of Los Angeles, believe it or not, the smog has lifted somewhat. It's clearing off here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where it's a very warm 86 degrees at game time down on the field. Jefferson to the right. Kilmer goes back to throw. Looking to Haraway. Coming out of the backfield. Throws behind him. Haraway holds on to it. It is knocked out of bounds. Crossed away. Is knocked out of bounds by Mike Colon, the weak side linebacker. Lost a yard or two on the play. Perhaps 3. But he stops the clock and now has 9 seconds remaining in the first half.
And that ball actually tipped by Bill Stanfill as he was rushing in. Changed the trajectory of the ball a little bit. Haraway making an excellent recovery on it to catch it.
The touchdown drives of Miami this afternoon, 63 yards in 6 plays. And then on the drive set up by Bonicani, 27 yards in 5 plays. Charlie Babb has come in as another defensive back as Coleman has gone out. The pitch goes to Larry Brown coming around the left side, and Brown picks up a couple of yards only. Clock is running 3 seconds. They're going to let this run out, obviously, because there it is. That's the gun. That's the end of the first half, and it's belonged to the Miami Dolphins all the way. At the end of the first half, the Dolphins 14, the Redskins of Washington nothing.
So the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl VII trying to keep the old tradition going of the fact that no Super Bowl team has won in its first effort, well, with the exception, of course, of the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl number 1. The 2 touchdowns, a 28-yard pass from Greasy to Howard Twilley with a second remaining in the first period. They kicked good for the extra point, and then with about 18 seconds remaining in the first half, a touchdown scored by Jim Kick, and that's how the score stands at the end of the first half. The Dolphins 14, and the Washington Redskins nothing.
The last half of Super Bowl VII is about to begin. This is Jim Simpson with Kyle Rote in Los Angeles, California. Very hot, near 90 degrees on the floor of the Coliseum. The Miami Dolphins have been very hot all day. On offense, they've managed 2 touchdowns. A third was called back. Washington has not come close. It is 14-0. The Redskins will receive the second half kickoff. The Redskins, the home team in this National Football Conference town, huddling now on the near sideline, dressed in burgundy and gold with white numerals. The Miami Dolphins, disappointed last year in their first trip to the Super Bowl, humiliated by the Dallas Cowboys that come back and have done a little humiliating of their own in the first half of this game. But it doesn't take an expert to know that it takes 2 halves of a football game to make a complete game, and the Redskins are not out of it yet. They've got 30 minutes to play. Redskins bustle out on the field now. Renee, Mulkey, and Heyman, who will go back deep, as Garo Yepremian will kick off today. For Yepremian, this will be his third kickoff, the first to start a half. He kicked off, of course, after the 2 touchdowns scored by Miami. The Dolphins are now on the field, and the smog again has begun to lift just a little bit. As they wait for the ball, Kyle, how about some early statistics?
Well, very quickly, as the score might indicate, the Dolphins are out in front statistically. 130 yards for the Dolphins to 72 total yards for Washington. The breakdown on that is 74 on the ground for Miami to 49 yards on the ground for Washington. In the air, the Dolphins hold the edge also, 56 yards to 23 for Washington. The Miami quarterback, Bob Greasy, has been sacked twice. Kilmer has not been trapped. However, Kilmer has been picked off 2 times. That's the big difference. 2 big interceptions. Larry Brown, the leading runner for Washington. Larry Zonka, leading runner for Miami.
As Yepremian kicks off, high, short kick. Mulkey comes out to the 15 and has it there. Crosses 20, has a lot of speed, and gets out near the 30-yard line. Tripped up, actually, as he hits to the 25-yard line. Tripped up by number 48, Henry Stuckey, the youngster out of Missouri by way of the Detroit Lions training camp. He tripped him up as Mulkey flew by, and it's a return from about the 15 yards out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Redskins trail, 14-0. Kilmer, Haraway, Brown in the backfield. Jefferson and Taylor, the wide receiver. Smith at tight end. Hermling and Rock the tackles. Robig and Wilbur the guard. Haas at center. First down. Kilmer's back to throw on first down. Throws across the middle again to Jerry Smith. He makes his catch first down across the 40-yard line. And at that, Smith was very closely covered by Mike Solon, the right side linebacker, and that pass could have gone either way. Bonacani was there also. But it's a gain from just past the 30 to just past the 40, a little bit more than 10 yards, and it's 1st and 10.
And the Redskins coming out firing. Apparently they're not going to go as much on the ground, mix it up a little bit more. They seem to stay an inordinate amount of time on the ground in the first half.
First time Jefferson and Taylor been on the same side. They're both flanked to the right. I formation, ball given to Larry Brown, and he doesn't get much. Herndon Herder is right there along with Manny Fernandez as Brown went straight ahead as the play action started out to the right side. Brown went straight ahead at the left defensive end, and then Herder more than mastered the situation. A gain of 2 yards. It's 2nd down and 8. The touchdowns for Miami, a 28-yard pass play to Howard Twilley with 1 second to go in the first quarter. And Jim Kick dove over from 1 yard out with 18 seconds to go in the half after Bonacani set up that touchdown with the second interception of the day by a Dolphin. Again, Taylor and Jefferson are wide to the right this time. Kilmer's looking for them and throwing, and it is popped in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Then the receiver was Charlie Taylor at the 47-yard line. He is on his back there. At both men, Taylor went straight down. Jefferson went down and out toward the sidelines. Kilmer went for the closer man, and Taylor could not hold on to the ball. And so now the Redskins, who came out firing, got a first down, find themselves with a 3rd down and 8 situation.
And in fairness to Charlie Taylor, Kilmer had him wide open. It was not the best thrown pass. I guess it was catchable, but it was way down around his shoe top.
3rd down and 8 to go. Jefferson wide to the left. Taylor wide to the right. The backs are split 7 or 8 yards to the backfield. Kilmer calls signals. Goes back to throw. Throws to Charlie Taylor. Got it first down across the 45 down to the 42. The deepest penetration for the Washington Redskins today. Mumford makes the stop. In the first half, which Miami scored 3 times, but one was called back, they went to the dressing room with 14 points. The difference in time of possession of the football was only 14 seconds. Even Steven, except Miami, won the battle statistics in the scoreboard. First down for the Redskins on the 42 of Miami. This time Jefferson and Taylor both go out to the left side. First time they both been to that side. I formation. Haraway the up man, Brown the deep man. Jerry Smith, the tight end, is on the right side. Kilmer calls signals, rolls out, looks again. Down and out pattern, has his man Jefferson knocked out of bounds. First down inside the 30-yard line at the 27-yard line. Knocked out by Curtis Johnson, and the Redskins are on the move.
And Jim, this is indicative of some great work in the press box during that first half and some very quick communications in the locker room during the halftime, explaining to the players what things they think can go. We're seeing the result of that right now. They put in some plays that they thought would go. Apparently got them going down on the 27.
Jefferson right, Taylor left this time out of the I formation. Kilmer at the line of scrimmage. The Redskins on their first march to the ball game. They trailed by 14 early in the second half. Kilmer again throwing down and out, has his man Jefferson. Jefferson's inside the 20-yard line. Bumped down by Mumford and Dick Anderson as he gets to the 19-yard line. A pickup from the 27 to the 19. A gain of 8. It'll be second down and 2 yards to go. 12 minutes to go. And this very quiet Redskin contingent now comes alive, and for the first time of the day, the Dolphin contingent across the way is a little quiet. Dolphins still lead 14-0. Redskins took the opening kickoff, returned it to the 30, and have marched now inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. I formation, Jefferson to the right, Taylor to the left. Tight end is Jerry Smith. He is on the right side. 5 men up front for the Dolphins. Kilmer hands to the first man, Haraway. Haraway picks up a couple of step yards, gets down near the 17-yard line. And again, young Vern Denherter out of Central Iowa, the second-year man, made the stop. 2 years in the National Football League and 2 years in the Super Bowl. Vern hopes this is his first Super Bowl ring.
Just can't tell you how impressive that drive of the Redskins is. I think anybody who has played the game to know what it takes to get those communications straight in a halftime where everybody's trying to get a little bit of rest, trying to organize. You have suggestions coming from every corner and trying to get it down set exactly what you want to do when you come out on the field in that second half, what things you think will work and things you want to stay away from. Billy Kilmer and his communications with George Allen and the rest of the coaching staff as they picked up the first down.
Kilmer won a battle there, Kyle. They were calling it third down and about a half a yard to go, and Billy Kilmer came in and said, hey, wait a minute, and he insisted on the call, which is his right, and they had the first down rather easily, almost by the length of the football. Now, with the ball at the 17-yard line, first and 10 to go. Jerry Smith and Jefferson both go to the left side. Taylor comes in tight on the right side, still a different formation. The backs are split. Kilmer calls signals, takes, looks, has his man, and Larry Brown can't hold on to it. Hold it, that is Charlie Taylor. Right at the goal line. Taylor was the man, remember, that, as I said, was in tight at the tight right end position. And right at the goal line, double team with Jake Scott, the man who was there with him all the way. The ball was slightly overthrown, and Taylor couldn't hold on to it. Second down and 10 from the 17. 10:50 to go. We are in the third quarter. The temperature's gone down a little bit. At game time, it was 86 on the Coliseum floor. Now we understand the field temperature is 80 degrees. Very sunshiny, warm day in Los Angeles, California. The smog has moved in and out. Smith, tight end left side. Jefferson left side. Taylor wide to the right. I formation. Second down 10. Gilmer calling signal. Gilmer fakes to Haraway. Look. Now throws. Screen pass set up. Haraway can't hold on to it. Haraway might have been knocked down for a loss, as a matter of fact, but Charlie's a little upset with himself that it did not work, and this means we're coming up to a big play, third down and 10, where Gilmer wants the full 10, doesn't want to have to settle for the field goal.
And that was a play they had worked successfully early in the ball game, faking the screen one way and then going with it to the other way, trying to get those linebackers to go with that first fake, pull them out of there.
Bob Matheson comes in. The famed Miami 53 defense is in as Big Bob Hines, the defensive right tackle, trots out. Situation, third down 10, 17-yard line of the Dolphins. Biggest threat by the Redskins. Jefferson left, Taylor to the right. Tight end Jerry Smith split 5 yards to the left. The backs in the backfield are split. Gilmer calling signals. Gilmer fakes to Brown, drops back to pass. Has time, running out of time, going to be sacked for the first time this afternoon by Manny Fernandez. Thrown back to the 25-yard line. And on comes Kurt Knight for the first time today. And they'll have to settle for the field goal. No chance for the first down there as the receivers were covered and Gilmer was sacked for the first time.
And just excellent coverage by the Miami secondary. They had every deep receiver covered. The linebackers had the backs coming out of the backfield covered.
Well, you wonder how it'll go for the Redskins. Here is Kurt Knight, who is 7 for 7 in postseason play. He'll try this from 32 yards out. He has not missed since the end of the regular season. Sam Weiss to hold at the 32. Knight trying to get the Redskins on the board. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. That's the way it's gone for the Dolphins. That's the way it's gone for the Redskins. This game still belongs to the Miami Dolphins. There's timeout in the third quarter. What's the score? Miami 14 and Washington nothing.
So the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Redskins now, as Kurt Knight has some trouble on that field goal. Bob Greasy will take over the controls now for the Dolphins as they'll take it over first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And Greasy explains why the Dolphins are right where they want to be in this Super Bowl.
The whole thing for this season was pointed to one purpose, and that's getting back and winning the Super Bowl. And we've done that. We're in that situation. We're right where we want to be. And if we go and win this ball game, that's just exactly what the whole year was set out to do. This is the only thing that we have in our minds, and we know the disappointment that we had after last year and all the work it took to get back to this point this year, and we don't want to blow it this time.
Bob Greasy, the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, says Miami leads at 14-0. A 28-yard pass from Greasy to Howard Twilley with a second remaining in the first period. And then Jim Kidd blasting in from 2 yards out. And that's it. 14-0 in favor of the Miami Dolphins as we're in the third period of Super Bowl VII. And right now, let's take this opportunity to pause for station identification. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Simpson with Kyle Rote back in Los Angeles. 10:21 to go, third quarter. 14-0 the Dolphins. Redskins moved the ball 45 yards before their 32-yard field goal attempt was no good. Dolphins have the football for the first time in this half. Now let's see how the Redskins defense is adjusted during halftime. As Twilley goes to the right, Warfield to the left. It is Kick and Zonka in the backfield, and Bob Greasy, who had a remarkable first half, 6 for 6, calling signals. Redskins jumping around defensively. Greasy taking a long time. Then hands to Zonka, first man, and Larry Zonka did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Big Berlin Big was right there with Myron Patios, the middle linebacker. And it'll be second down and about 11.
And one of the defensive adjustments the Redskins made, they went throughout their first half pretty much a basic four-man line, even spacing. They come out in their first defense with an odd man spacing, a man over the center's nose, undershifting the linebackers to one side, the line the other way. They're now back to an even four as this play begins.
Split backfield again. Warfield left, Swilly to the right. Fisher's playing right up on Swilly at the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line. Ball is handed to Zonka. Zonka trying to grab the guy on the outside and gets by one man, and Pat Fisher, a little 5'9" left cornerback, made the stop as Zonka gets from the 19 up to the 25-yard line. Big 3rd down and 5 play, and so Bill Brundage, the pass rusher, comes in. McClinton comes in as a linebacker. Padios and Sistrunk come out on 3rd down and 5. 9:21 to go. Dolphins want to keep this drive going. They've manhandled the Redskins throughout the first half. Only have buckled before the Redskins once, and then bent a little bit, but did not allow a score. 3rd and 5. Warfield to the left. Twilly to the right. Zonka is the lone setback. Kick is flanked to the left. About 5 yards off the left side. Ball goes to Zonka straight ahead, and he goes straight ahead and only gets a couple of yards. So it'll be 4th down. The Dolphins fail to pick up the first down. So Alvin Heyman is set back to go deep. Barry Seipel will come on to kick it away for the Dolphins. The clock continues to run. 8:40 to go. 14-0. Miami's Dolphins. The American Football Conference would like very much to go to Houston next year, owning a 4-3 lead over their rival National Football Conference in Super Bowl play. Double safeties, Heyman and Baxter back at the 30. Seipel is standing at his own 12. Low pass from center. Gets the ball away. Hangs it very high. Heyman backs up to the 25, the 24. Has it there. Gets away from one man. He gets back to the 20 and is thrown back to the 18-yard line. Heyman kept circling across the field, but the pursuit of Miami was simply tremendous. Thrown back to the 18. Redskins ball, 1st and 10. We'll be back in a moment as there's timeout on the field with the score. The Dolphins 14, the Redskins nothing.
Well, a lot of surprise as far as people were concerned over the point spread. We mentioned earlier that head coach George Allen of Washington was quite surprised that his team should be favored because Miami had won 16 straight in the regular season plus the playoffs. But the Dolphins set a league record this season with 2,960 yards for the team. They also scored a league-high 385 points. But the Dolphins are going against the Redskin defense, which allowed just 6 points in the 2 playoff games. Washington finished 3rd behind Pittsburgh, and Miami's no-name defense in the National Football League as far as scoring. The Dolphins gave up 171 to lead the National Football League. Then came Pittsburgh, and then Washington, which gave up 218. Having running backs to choose from turns out to be a happy dilemma from Shula because it was thought Mercury Morris had been getting a lot of the playing time before the playoff games, and now it's Jim Kick, and he's answered the call with a touchdown.
Jim Simpson with Kyle Rote as we come back to Los Angeles, California. The ball on the 18-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Redskins when time resumes. A reminder to all of you golf fans, we told you about it before, but remember, on Monitor every weekend, we will have throughout the year PGA progress reports of all the PGA golf tournaments. Now, next week, our first PGA progress report will be from the Dean Martin Open down in Tucson, Arizona. Also, join us on Monitor Radio on NBC from the 18th. Miami's defense deployed. Redskins able to move the football last time, but then stymied when Kilmer couldn't find anybody open and was sacked. They tried a 32-yard field goal, did not get it. Again, Jefferson and Taylor both go to the same side. They are to the left, I formation behind Kilmer. Now Taylor backs up a little bit. Kilmer pitches out to Larry Brown. Brown looking for running room, gets out to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards as he comes around the right side. Bob Hines and Manny Fernandez, the defensive tackles pursued, have made the stop there. It'll be 2nd down and 3 at the 25.
Jim, what I assume is a Super Bowl record. The attendance here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, 90,182.
Being Kyle, when they had it here with the city of Los Angeles blacked out, their first Super Bowl, 1967, they only had about 60,000. Here, everybody in Los Angeles can see it on television or hear it on the radio, but 90,182 here. First man threw out of the eyes, Charlie Haraway. Haraway gets the first down. The Redskins showing here in the early going of the second half the ability to move the football. Although half of the first half has gone by and nobody has scored. So the Dolphins very comfortably, at least for the moment, sitting on a 14-0 lead. Ball is at the 31-yard line. And now on first down, we see the 53 defense. Not on a 3rd and long situation, but on a first down. They have 3 men rushing, and Bob Matheson added as the 4th defensive linebacker for the Miami Dolphins. Taylor, Jefferson, both to the left. I formation behind Kilmer on first down from the 31-yard line. Here's Larry Brown coming around the right side. Gets out to the 30-yard line, across the 35, and out near the 40-yard line, and near another first down. Does Brown run out of bounds by Nick Bonacani, the middle linebacker. It'll be second down, I believe, and about a yard to go.
And, Jim, one of the problems that the Redskins will be strapped with is that they are a ball control type of team also. Not only the Dolphins, but the Redskins, too. And as time ticks away, there are now 6 minutes, 51 seconds left in the third quarter. Time will become a factor for them, as they're not known as the big bomb players alone or the big play team. They just grind it out, control the ball.
Jefferson left, Taylor right, I formation. Second and short yardage. They give it to Larry Brown, and he has got the first down across the 40 out to the 43-yard line. Bob Matheson, Mike Colin, and Nick Bonacani all in on the stop. That's the first down for the Redskins. Con and I have just pointed out, it is obvious the running play eat up the clock. 6:30 to go, 14-0 to score. And as Don Shula says, as long as I'm only down by 10 points in the fourth quarter, I feel I can win the game. The Redskins feel the same way. These are veteran, experienced teams, both with their best records ever. Jefferson left, Taylor to the right, I formation on first down from the 43 of Washington. Gilmer drops back a couple of paces, throws down and out to Jefferson. Jefferson's inside the 50-yard line and spins inside the 45-yard line. Down to the 44-yard line. Curtis Johnson was the first to hit him across the way, and then one of the linebackers, Bob Matheson, came over. They mark it at the 44. Well, as the Redskins took the opening kickoff of the half and marched and had a miss from 32 yards out, they've taken this ball from their own 18-yard line and have moved the ball now to the 44-yard line of Miami. Matheson has gone out, and they put Bob Hines back in. First down and 10. Jefferson to the right, Taylor to the left. They're in the I formation. Gilmer starts back, fakes, throws long, going for the bomb to Jefferson. He's got his man beat, but the ball is overthrown by 3 or 4 yards. Dick Anderson was back with him, but Jefferson now raising his hand as he comes out, and he may pull himself out of the ball game as they wave in Clifton McNeil, number 85. And maybe Roy pulled up a little bit lame. He quickly waved himself out of the game, or perhaps after that long run with it so hot and the slog around, Jefferson just needs a breather. In any event, on first down, Kilmer went for everything from the 44 and overthrew Roy Jefferson.
And that shows an alertness on the part of Clifton McNeil also. A very smart thing that Jefferson did. He knew he was tired. He wouldn't be of much value to his team. Just a signal. McNeil alertly watching it.
Neal's to the right, Taylor to the left, split back this time, not the I formation. Second down, 10 from the 44. Long count by Kilmer. Drops straight back, looks down the sidelines, and overthrows his man Charlie Taylor down at the 17-yard line. All went out of bounds, and Curtis Johnson was pursuing him all the way. The weak side safety, Jake Stott, had come over to help out. But Taylor again had a stride perhaps on Johnson. Would have had to have been a perfectly thrown pass for Taylor to catch up to the ball. Washington now has 11 first downs, but 7 of those in this first half, or second half rather. But here they are, needing a first down very badly on third down and 10. They've moved the ball a little bit, but they haven't scored all day long. Miami's going into that 53 defense again. Hines out, Bob Matheson in. Redskins break out of the huddle. Jefferson still out of the ball game. Hold it. Jefferson is now in and is to the right, and McNeil to the left as Taylor gets a breather after that long run in this heat of the Los Angeles Coliseum. Whoops, everybody's jumping, and the ball has not been snapped. It's liable to be third down and 15. Gary Smith started on the right side. The man on the left side started to pull. Miami stayed still, so it's going to be a legal procedure motion charged against the Redskins. Take the ball back to the 49. It'll be third down and 15 yards from there. 5:21 to go, third quarter. Miami owns the lead, 14-0.
And that might not seem like a major penalty or a major occurrence in a game, but in a game like the Super Bowl, every little mistake hurts you so much.
Washington, for them, their 10th third down conversion attempt. They have made 3 of the previous 9. Kilmer in a long huddle back on his own 40-yard line now breaks them out, sending McNeil out to the left and Jefferson to the right. Gary Smith again is the tight end, split about 4 yards to the right. Backs are split in the backfield. Third and 15. Kilmer going back to pass. Kilmer has time. Kilmer looks, throws over the middle, over the hands of Clifton McNeil. He threw slightly behind Clifton McNeil. McNeil had broken through the seams of his arm, but the ball was slightly behind him and overthrown him as fourth down. And Mike Bragg comes on to punt the ball away.
You know, Jim, I don't know whether the Miami defensive alignment is confusing Billy Kilmer that much. He doesn't seem to be confident of where he wants to throw it. Isn't just affirmatively attacking his passing game. He seems to be just sort of not really sure of what he wants to do.
Jake Scott stands back inside his 10. Mike Bragg is on his own 35 waiting to punt the ball away with 5:16 to go in the third quarter. Bragg has plenty of time, gets it very high, very short. Scott calls fair catch and has it at the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Miami Dolphins from their own 17. Timeout with 5:09 to go in the third quarter. Dolphins 14, Redskins nothing.
Of course, money and glory will be motivating both teams in this ball game in the final quarter and the time remaining here in the third period. George Allen will be calling on an emotional incentive as well. 7 former Rams are on the Redskins squad, determined to refute the belief that many in Los Angeles that Allen, who never won a playoff until this season, can't produce a champion. Among those ex-Rams are 3 key defensive stars for the Redskins, Jack Pardee, Myron Pontios, and Darren Talbot. A similar psychological motivation was at work last season when Allen returned to Los Angeles for the first time for a game with the Rams. His over-the-hill gang, which Kilmer led at quarterback, responded by winning 38-24 to sew up a playoff spot. So, the Washington Redskins, under the head coaching of George Allen in Los Angeles, and this is one thing that Allen thought would be a big advantage for his ball club, the fact that a lot of the Rams fans will be rooting for the Redskins, but so far, it doesn't appear to be helping too much.
With Todd Rote, this is Jim Simpson back in Los Angeles, along with 90,182 others. We hope you're enjoying this broadcast wherever you are in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, throughout the Caribbean, throughout Europe, Asia, Japan. We say hello to all of you. It's 14-0. The Dolphins have first down at their own 17. Warfield comes to the left. Morris is in there with Larry Zonka. Twitty is out to the right. Split backfield. Ball is handed to Mercury Morris, and Morris is dragged down by Chris Hamburger, but not until he crosses the 20-yard line and out to the 23-yard line. That will be a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Chris Hamburger, the fine right side linebacker, very fast, used to be a fullback at North Carolina, has 4 interceptions, but nothing has been thrown in his area. Miami's shown the amazing ability, not so amazing when you look at the record, but the ability to hold on to the football and move it. Here is Warfield to the left, Twilly to the right. Again, split backfield, 2nd down, 4 to go. From the 22 of Miami. Bob Greasy calling signals. Bob Greasy hands to Zonka. Zonka breaks across the left side and is finally tackled by the free safety Roosevelt Taylor after he picks up a first down out to the 34-yard line. Larry Zonka.
Great blocking by that Miami offensive line, too. Bob Kuchenberg, Larry Little, Jim Langer actually making a good block back.
Zonka gained 12 yards and a first down.
The Redskins scored 14 points on one occasion, 17 on another, but they have never been shut out or held to less than 14 points all year long. But they're being held to that right now. High formation this time. Greasy hands to the first man through. That is Zonka. Zonka breaks loose and tackles. He's at the 40, and Pat Fisher tries to arm tackle him. Can't do it. They finally wrestle him down at the 16-yard line. And Jack Pardee and Brig Owens, the strong safety, come back. Zonka burst over his own left side of the line. Fisher came over, got an arm on him, couldn't get it. Pardee and Taylor made the stop. 44-yard run. Make that a 49-yard run down to the 16-yard line. And that is the longest run against the Redskins defense all year long. Walt Garrison tore one for 41 yards. Other than that, that's been the only run more than 33 yards against the Redskins defense this year. That was 49 yards. 14-0. The ball at the 16-yard line. Miami cleared in control, sending Twilly out to the right. Warfield to the left. Back. Morris and Zonka are split. Greasy calling signals. Mercury Morris, second man through, going across behind Larry Little, is right offensive guard, and gets down inside the 15-yard line. They'll mark it between the 13 and the 12. It'll be second down from there. A gain of a little bit more than 3 yards.
Larry Zonka closing in on a Super Bowl record with 2 minutes and a half more than a quarter to go. Matt Snell holds the record, 121 yards. He set that in 1969. Zonka now 101 yards.
Willie trots out to the right, Warfield to the left. Miami, a young and very confident football team at this point. The backs are split in the backfield. Greasy is calling signals on second down, hands it to Morris, starting out the right side. Excellent blocking, gets down to the 10-yard line, rides down near first down at the 7-yard line. Thrown down across the way by number 37, Pat Fisher. And they may have to call for a measurement for this one as they're coming back over to the 6 on the near side, and they'll take it to see whether or not they have a first down at the 7-yard line.
Miami just looking so impressive on that ground attack. Zonka, in that long run of his, the 49-yard run, just attacking Pat Fisher, the safety man, just bouncing him off of him, really attacking him rather than Fisher attacking Zonka.
About a yard to go for the first down. Doug Crusan, who's been injured over the last couple of games of the season, and throughout the playoff games and the conference championship, Crusan has come in for the first time, 5-year veteran, playing at left tackle. Now with Zonka has gone over the 100-yard mark. Just flashed 101 yards. The ball is at the 7-yard line. They've got about a yard to go for the first down. Jim Kick, very adept at getting those tough 1-yard situations, comes in. Big play here for the Redskins. And a big play for the Dolphins. They've got 2 tight ends in. They've got Zonka, they've got Kick. They get the first down, they can try for the touchdown. If they don't, it may be that they would go for the field goal in a 17-0 lead. Kick and Zonka lined up, everybody in tight. Warfield flanked just off the right side of the line. The ball is given to Jim Kick, and Kick looks for running room and looks like he got the first down at the 5-yard line. It all depends on where they spot the ball. If they spot it at the 5, and that's where they're standing, that's the first and goal to go. Can you imagine 14 games during the regular season without a loss, being behind to Cleveland, being behind to Pittsburgh, coming on to winning their 15th and 16th games, and now, as Don Shula said at the outset, if we win 17 in a row, that's the season. That means we've got the Super Bowl. Dolphins lead 14-0. Mercury Morris has come back in along with Larry Zonka, split backfield. Warfield left this time. Still 2 tight ends on first and goal to go. Zonka gets just back to the line of scrimmage on a counter play, going from the left side across his own right side, and Darren Howard is there to make the stop. Doug Crusan, we told you, came in for the first time in this game. He came in because his replacement, Wayne Moore, went out slightly nauseated. As we said, it is very hot. Now a man going back to the Miami huddle falls down and is very weak on his feet and gets up. It looks like Jim Mandich almost passed out on the field. As we said, the smog factor very heavy here. Temperature in the 80s on the field. Moore has taken himself out. Men have taken themselves out after going down deep for long passes, and now Mandich is being let off.
Marv Fleming coming in to take his place. And as you said, these fellows have been, for most of the last month, working out in colder weather. And this type of humidity here, the smog affects them a little bit too. Unseasonably warm weather suddenly, and it's been cooler most of the early part of this week.
Second down and goal to go. The ball, actually, Zonka lost a half a yard on that last play. Well, the kick, and Seipel, the punter, is coming as a tight end. He goes to the right side. Invaluable player. He turned around the Pittsburgh American Conference Championship. Split backfield. Warfield off to the left. On second down and goal from just over the 5-yard line. Greasy fakes, looks into the end zone, throws into the end zone for Marv Fleming, and it is intercepted in the end zone by Brig Owen, the strong side safety. And it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Fleming thought he had it all the way, and Owens reached up and snatched it just before it got to him. So with a score 14-0. 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. There's still life in the Redskins. Although Miami's dominated this game, rushing for 159 yards to the Redskins' 79 yards. And due to the fact, of course, that the Dolphins have scored 14 points, had 7 more called back because of a penalty, and we're down on the 5-yard line then. Redskins have never gotten that deep. Jefferson and Taylor both come to the right, I formation. Billy Kilmer back in. He's been intercepted twice, both in the first half. Kilmer hands to Larry Brown for 2 by Manny Fernandez, and then finally knocked down by the linebacker on that side, Doug Swift. Fernandez turned that play outside, and Swift came up. 10 seconds to go and counting here in the third quarter. A loss of 5 yards. It is second down and 15. They'll not get another playoff. 1 second to go. The players have already started toward the other end of the field. That is the end of the third quarter. The Dolphins of Miami 14. The Redskins of Washington nothing.
The scoring so far in Super Bowl VII, with 1 second remaining in the first period, Bob Gracie hooked up with Howard Twilley on a 28-yard touchdown pass. Gary Apremian kicked the extra point, and that was it. Miami 7-0 at the end of the first period. Then with 18 seconds remaining in the first half, Jim Kick scored on a short run. Gary Apremian's conversion made it 14-0 Miami at the end of the first half. The Redskins had a chance at it with a medium-length field goal try from Kurt Knight, but it was no good. And so, after 3 periods of play, it's the Miami Dolphins 14, the Washington Redskins nothing in Super Bowl VII before a crowd of over 90,000 at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The heat does not appear to be affecting the players, although it's possible that Jim Mandich, who collapsed momentarily heading back to that Miami huddle, may have been affected by the heat, but then again, he may have gotten a sharp rap on the head, and that might have caused that problem.
Along with Carl Rote, this is Jim Simpson in Los Angeles. It'll be second down, and let's call it 16, as they've spotted the ball at the 14-yard line for the Washington Redskins. Zonka has 101 yards. We gave you that. The record was set of 121 down in the Orange Bowl of Miami when Matt Snell of New York did such a job against the Baltimore Colts. Right now, the Redskins are looking for some kind of score. The closest they have come has been a 32-yard field goal attempt in the third quarter. Other than that, it has been all Miami. Again, the smog begins to settle in on this hot, hot day. Several of the players have left nauseated, as we said. Gilmer now has the signal. Now takes his men into the huddle back on the 5-yard line. Mandich was not shaken up. He is nauseated just like Wayne Moore. Jefferson is in, wide to the right. Taylor wide to the left on second down and 16 from the 14-yard line. Backfield is split. Gilmer calls signals. Gilmer hands to Larry Brown. Brown slips as he gets right back, maybe to the line of scrimmage. Bonacani is there, along with Mike Colton, the right side linebacker. But Brown never really got going, and he has been really slowed down in this game. He is a great runner, but has had no opportunity today.
You know, Jim, we were expecting both Larry Brown and Mercy Marsh to have outstanding running days, only because they were emotionally ready for it. They are playing on natural grass, natural turf, which they say they prefer much more than they do the artificial turf. And when you're emotionally set for a game like this, you usually run pretty well.
Brown has carried 17 times, 42 yards. Not much. Third down. Gilmer goes back, throws a swing pass out to Brown. Brown's across the 10, across the 20, trying to get the first down. Goes out near the 28-yard line, fumbles the football. He goes out of bounds. Off Brown. Last man to have possession. And that was Brown. Goes out of bounds. Strike at the 26. Fumbled the ball out of bounds. So it is going to be fourth down from the 26 and about 4 to go. Rag is in to kick the ball away. And now, with you, we will watch that clock. We are in the fourth quarter. There are only 14 minutes and 12 seconds to go. The Redskins are down by 14 points. Brown comes off. Looks like he's favoring his left shoulder. Or perhaps it is his left wrist or elbow. Rag is in at the 12-yard line. Jake Scott steps back deep at his own 35-yard line. Waiting for the snap is Mike Bragg. Rush is not on. Kicks it straight up. Very short, very poor kick. And is caught by one of the up men at the 49-yard line, Dick Anderson. That is a kick from the 27-yard line to the 49-yard line of 24 yards. Earlier, Bragg had one of 28 yards. Time out at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Dolphins 14, Redskins nothing.
Well, the Miami Dolphins have been improving steadily as the season has gone along. No losses, and they're trying for their 17th straight. Jake Scott of the Dolphins, he's the safety man, comments on how his club has improved this season.
Our team has just matured more. You know, it's experience, or I don't know, or confidence, or you can call it any one or number of different things. But last year, you know, we were here, we were ready to play, but Dallas was more ready. You know, they had the experience, and they just took the game away from us. We were never really in the ball game. But this year, I think that we'll be able to compete much better. It's experience. You know, we had a real young ball club. Last year was really only our second year together. This is our third since Shula's been down, and we've, I mean, when you win 16 games in a row, you have to have some kind of confidence.
That was Dolphin safety man Jake Scott.
They have been working on Larry Brown's left wrist and left hand in that area. He's on the bench getting a wet towel to put over it. Well, Mike Bragg on his punts today has averaged just a little bit more than 31 yards. This last one gave Miami excellent field position, and they have the 14-point lead there at their own 49-yard line. Warfield left, Willie right. Second man is Morris trying to get outside, and he's never going to get outside, but he does break a couple of tackles and does get outside. Mercury Morris on individual brilliance. He was missed by Sistrunk, Claudio, Brig Owens, and finally Vernon Biggs came over from the other side of the field to knock him out of bounds. After all of that, a 2-yard gain. Second down and 8. Second down and 8. 2 yards. Dolphins scored with 1 second to go in the first quarter, with 18 seconds to go in the second quarter. Nobody scored in the third quarter. They're now well into the fourth quarter. It's 14-0 Miami. Twilly right, Warfield left. The backs are split. They are Zonka and Mercury Morris. Bob Greasy looking for Warfield down and in. Warfield put a move on Mike Bass, and it looks to me, Kyle, as though Mike looked upfield to see. Was that interference I just did? I bumped him, but he did bump him before the ball was in the air.
Well, he has one shot at him, but he can't hit him after he passes him, and that's the point what Warfield was trying to do, fake him to the sideline and then take it deep downfield. Pass, Bob Greasy, the timing on that's most critical. You have to let that ball go while your man is going toward the sideline. So their timing was a little off. The ball was overthrown a little bit. Warfield hadn't had a chance to get upfield that soon.
Larry Zonka takes a breather. Jim Kick replaces him, and Mandich, who was shaken up on the play, nauseated, is back in and ready to play. Both Warfield and Twilly are to the left on third down and 8 to go. Kick and Mercury Morris, both great receivers. They're throwing in the direction of Kick. Kick is looking for running room and is dragged down shy of the first down. Now a gang tackle across the way as they get to about the 47-yard line. And so now Larry Seipel is coming on again, and apparently the Dolphins will punt the ball away again. Alvin Heyman goes deep. 12:59 to go.
And the sun factor here right now for Heyman might be a little problem. The sun is right in his eyes as he looks back towards Seipel.
Larry Seipel steps back behind his own 40-yard line. Baxter and Heyman. Baxter is up on the right sideline to about the 10. Heyman back to the 7 on the left. Ball kick toward Baxter. Calls a fair catch. Has it right at the 10.5-yard line. It'll be first and 10 from there. Well, Miami had great field position. Could not move the ball. Redskins are about 90 yards away from a score of any kind with 12:31 to go, and they're trailing by 2 touchdowns. Larry Brown is coming back in. Remember, he sustained an injury to his left wrist or hand on that last play when he fumbled the ball out of bounds. So Jefferson to the left, Taylor to the right. They come out in the I formation. The Redskins have shown some flashes here in the second half of moving the football, but none in the first half. Taylor down and out, has his man Jefferson along the sidelines, and Jefferson is run out of bounds and gets to the 18-yard line by Curtis Johnson, the right side cornerback. That's a gain from the 10 to the 18. It'll be second down and 2.
And Kilmer very wisely, again, trying everything he can to do to influence the linebackers of Miami. He will look one way and almost make like he's throwing a quick pass to the right, turn around, throw back to his left, trying to get that outside linebacker to go with that first fake to get him out of the trajectory of the ball.
Split back this time. Taylor left, Jefferson right on second down and 2. When the Redskins looking for something in a hurry. If they can, give the ball to Larry Brown. He is more than enough for the first down as he bursts across the left side and across the 20-yard line out to the 24-yard line. Mike Colon came up to make the stop from his right linebacker spot. That's the first down for the Redskins. Miami has allowed the Redskins in this half, through Redskin adjustment, to move the football. The old business, they have been bending, but they have not been giving up or snapping. Hines goes out. Bob Matheson comes in as the Dolphins go to their 53 defense. Now Taylor and Jefferson both go to the right side on first down 10 from the 24-yard line. Dolphins lead at 14-0. 11 and a half minutes left in the ball game in Super Bowl number 7. And the round play to Jerry Smith, the tight end. Smith gets out to the 30-yard line. Going from the left to right, he is dragged down over there by Dick Anderson, the strong side safety. Well, we have seen Charlie Taylor try the end around, and for a team that likes to control the ball and do not much unusual, George Allen is beginning to pull out the stops.
Well, that's true. However, the one thing about it is it's a very time-consuming play. It isn't really designed to go a long way because of the speed of a Jerry Smith, number one. But its time is running out. 10:53, clock running.
2nd and 4, I formation this time. Quick pitch back to Larry Brown. Comes out the left side, finds a little hole, gets past Bonacani and has the first down across the 40-yard line. Bonacani managed to hold a hand on him and allowed some other people to come up and help out. So it's a first down for the Redskins at the 41 as from Los Angeles. We pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is SCN Radio, the voice of information in the Canal Zone, at 790 and 1420.
Jefferson to the right, Taylor to the left, I formation on first down Redskins. Very warm afternoon. Kilmer calling signals. Kilmer fakes. Now looks to run. Has to run. He is out of the pocket. He is across the 50-yard line. Still on his feet and wrestled back inside the 50-yard line. But they'll mark it at the 49-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Bill Kilmer does not run often. Used to be the tailback in the 49ers shotgun offense when he first came out of college in 61. He can run. Not speedy, not nifty. He'd rather throw the ball or hand off.
He must be pretty sturdy, too, because he took shots from Mike Colon, Bob Matheson, Doug Swift, all three big linebackers, 220, 235, 226. They all three gave him a good shot.
A gain of a little bit more than 9. Second and very short yardage. They've got Taylor to the right. Jefferson left. Short yardage. Haraway's got the first down as he goes across the outside. Well, he went inside the left end, and Manny Fernandez, the left tackle, pursued him and finally knocked him down as he got to the 42-yard line. We'll watch the clock with you. 9:05 to go. We point out, but it is the truth, and it is obvious, but it is a fact of life. The clock is running. The Redskins are down by 14. Miami quite content for the Redskins to keep the ball along the ground. They might manufacture a score, but they sure are using up the clock. Kilmer on first down. Long huddle back at midfield now sends both Taylor and Jefferson to the left side and brings us back out on the I formation. First down from the 42. Kilmer calling signals. Now, answer to the first man through, that is Haraway, and he picks up yardage inside the 40-yard line and gets down to about the 37. Picks up 5, second down 5. Clock running now, 8:15, Kyle.
And the Dolphins continue to stay in that three-man front line with 4 linebackers. Apparently, they are willing to let the Redskins pick up 4 or 5 yards, which they can do against the three-man line with fair consistency. But, of course, it's a much tougher defense to pass against. I guess the Dolphins figure they'll just let them run the clock out.
Now Jefferson Taylor both go to the wide side. That is the far side of the field to the right. High backs. Kilmer turned around and yelled something at his 2 setbacks. Second man through is Brown. Brown picks up yardage near the first down, inside the 35, down to about the 32. That might be close enough to call for the measurement. Bill Stanfield, the former Outland Trophy winner from the University of Georgia, made the stop. He's a defensive right end. Coming over to get the 6, Kyle.
You know, they talk about the Miami schedule this year. There's been talk about the fact that they had not really met a tough schedule, and that's one reason why they perhaps had trouble in the playoffs against Cleveland than against Pittsburgh. But they beat pretty good clubs: Minnesota, Kansas City, New York Jets.
short yardage to go. It'll be third and a couple of inches to go. Washington moving the ball very well, but on this drive alone, they've taken 5 minutes off the clock. 7:41 to go. Third down and just inches to go. Taylor to the right. Tommy Bell, the referee, winds the clock. It's going down to about 7.5 minutes now. Split backs. Gilmer calling signals on third and short yardage. Gives it to Larry Brown. Brown just leaps over everybody and inside the 30-yard line for the first down. Picked up much more than he needed. Run from the 32 down to the 28-yard line. The crowd here in Los Angeles since the early going has been rather quiet. And as we pointed out to you as we came on the air, George Allen used to coach the Rams here. A lot of Redskin fans are here. And this is a National Football Conference town. But this thus far has been an American Football Conference day. Miami is not allowed a point yet. First down from the 28-yard line. High formation, both wide receivers to the left. Kilmer fakes, rolls out, being rushed, looks, now runs to the right, nobody there. Fakes again, runs inside the 25, inside the 20-yard line to the 19-yard line goes Billy Kilmer. Another 9-yard pickup. His second on this drive. Clock running, 6:35 to go. It'll be about second and another yard to go.
Bob Matheson saving the day, one of the linebackers, and on those 4 linebacker sets that they have, they red dog one of their linebackers in. That puts the pressure on Kilmer. That was Swift coming in.
Last time Swift came in like that, Kilmer had put the ball in the air, Kyle, and Bonacani had intercepted it. Run it back 37 yards for the second touchdown. Taylor goes to the right. Jefferson comes out to the left. High formation, second of the yard to go from the 19.5-yard line. Redskins trail by 14. Down and out pattern to Charlie Taylor. Steps out of bounds, which stops the clock at the 14-yard line. And more importantly, it gives them the first down. So the clock is stopped with 6:03 to go. Hear this. Miami leads 14-0. In first downs, Miami 9 first downs. Washington 16. That's what we mean by bending but not snapping. First down at the 14. By far and away for the Redskins, the best they've been able to do today.
And you have a feeling, Jim, that Washington keeps nibbling away. When are they going to go for that end zone? They are now on the 14-yard line.
Taylor and Jefferson both to the right side. They'll come out on the I formation. The tight end is Jerry Smith. He is on the left side. First down from the 14-yard line. Kilmer talking up and down his line. Now settles in under the center. Quick pitch back to Larry Brown. Cuts inside. Gets down to about the 10-yard line. A pickup of 4 yards on the play as he went around the right side. It'll be second down, and that clock continues to run. And the clock is all in the favor of the Miami Dolphins with 5:47 to go. They're out in front by 14. The Redskins haven't crossed that goal line yet. And it is second down from about the 10.5-yard line.
Most clubs still have all 3 timeouts remaining to them.
Taylor right, Jefferson left. Brown and Haraway split in the backfield this time. Gilmer up on second down and 6 to go. Gilmer drops back, looks for the end zone, throws for the end zone, and it hits the goalpost. Looking for Jerry Smith, who had cut between 2 men at the end of the end zone, near the out-of-bounds marker, and Kilmer's ball hit the end zone, and that, of course, just kills the ball, and it is third down. Ball is dead as soon as it hits the goalpost. Give you a little quiz. Kyle knows the answer. When does the ball hit a goalpost and it is not dead?
When you're passing from behind your end zone or in your end zone trying to get out of it.
Or punting from your end zone. There goes Taylor to the right. Jefferson out to the left. Big play, third down here, and a long 6 yards to go from the 11-yard line. Gilmer drops back to throw over the middle, and it is intercepted in the end zone and brought out by Scott. Scott's out to the 10, the 15. He is on the sideline. Haraway is chasing him and drags him down as he gets across the 50. And all intents and purposes, barring some kind of miracle, that could be it with 5:08 to go. The third interception for the Dolphins, the second for Jake Scott, who took it about 4 yards deep in the end zone and ran it back to the 48 of Washington. And time has been called on the field.
It looks like Kilmer went to the well once too often down the middle. He had been picked off a couple of times.
55-yard return. Bonacani, when he set up the second touchdown, it was 37 yards. Timeout. 5:08 to go in the game. The Dolphins in control. They lead Washington 14-0.
Well, as they say, school may be out for the Washington Redskins as Billy Kilmer has his third pass intercepted. But before the game, Kilmer had some thoughts on that Miami Dolphin ball team.
They do what they do best, and that's play good sound defense, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. And they're just tough to beat. I tell you, they come to play every Sunday, and that's obvious because of their 16-0 record. And it's just going to be a great football game Sunday, and I'm glad to be in it.
That's Washington quarterback Billy Kilmer commenting before the game on the Miami Dolphins and how true it is as he discusses the Miami Dolphins defense, which was tops in the American Football Conference and tops against scoring in the National Football League. And the Washington Redskins yet to get on the scoreboard. They came close there, but the Dolphins defense came through with an interception in the end zone.
The remarkable thing is, not only have the Miami Dolphins handled the Redskins so well after having to struggle to defeat their last two opponents, meaning the Cleveland Browns and then the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have shut out the Redskins, and the Redskins this year have come nowhere near being shut out. But they're being shut out in the biggest of all games of the year, the Super Bowl. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. High formation for the Dolphins. They've got the 14-point lead. Reese Hampson-Zonka, who goes straight ahead and gets down near the 41-yard line. Tripped up by McDowell, and he fell forward to the 41-yard line. Bill Kilmer played his football at UCLA, played right here in the Coliseum of Los Angeles. Today has been intercepted 3 times and returned 95 yards. 55 of those 95 yards returned by Scott on that last one, 37 by Bonaconte, and Scott on the first interception of the game accounted for the rest of the yardage. From the 41, second down and short yardage, about 3. Clock is running, 4.5 minutes to go. High formation. Warfield left, Willie to the right. 14-0. Miami leads in the Super Bowl. Reese, second man through, is Jim kicked, and he gets some tough yardage and may have the first down inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Calvert, Hamburger, Sistrunk, all there and on the stop.
And Jake Scott, with that interception, his second of the game, tied a Super Bowl record, which has been shared now by Randy Beverly and Chuck Howley. Randy Beverly doing it in 1969. Howley doing it for Dallas last year, or in 71.
Measuring for the first down, the Dolphins have the first down inside the 38-yard line. Well, next year the Super Bowl will be played down at Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas. We wonder as we look ahead a year, who will be down there? The Redskins back, Miami back. Guarantee you these are two good teams. And Miami, remember, has not been defeated since the Redskins beat them in an exhibition game, 27-24. They're trying to win their 17th game of the season. First down, split backs 20 right, Warfield to the left on a hot day in Los Angeles. First down for the Dolphins, trying to run it down. Greasy hands off to Jim Kick. Kick fights inside the 35-yard line, knocked down there as he gets down to about the 34-yard line. Jack Pardee, Brig Owens in on the stop. Clock is running 3:42, barring the miracle that we mentioned moments ago when Jake Scott intercepted and returned 55 yards. It looks like the American Football Conference will go home with a 4-3 edge over the National Football Conference in the Super Bowl, which was first played in this stadium in 1967. Green Bay, under Vince Lombardi, won the first 2 Super Bowls. Then the American Football League, or Conference as it's now called, broke through with the New York Jets over the Baltimore Colts. Now the younger conference is about to take a 4-3 lead, barring a miracle Redskins comeback. Ball is handed off to the running back, Larry Zonka, and Zonka gets to the 35-yard line, and that is about all, as we are keeping our eye half on the field and half on the clock, which now shows there are less than 3 minutes to go. Well, Dolphin fans and Redskin fans came a long way to watch this one. Both of them more than 3,000 miles. They're both East Coast teams, and here they are on the West Coast to watch Super Bowl number 7. And a lot of them now are beginning to walk out of the Coliseum. Record crowd, 90,182. Everything is booked out of Los Angeles, going from Los Angeles east tomorrow. Greasy's going to throw. Easy fades back to look. He puts it in the effort. Twilly is there, and it's knocked away from him by Pat Fisher. Great play at the 4-yard line. For Howard, Twilly, and Pat Fisher this time. Twilly caught a touchdown over him back in the first quarter. But Greasy showed some gambler's instinct there. With less than 3 minutes to go, he put the ball in the air. Now it is 4th down. But, of course, in all fairness to Bob, he put the ball in the air deep, so if it was intercepted, it would be way down the field. Gale Upremian is now in, and will try his first field goal attempt of the day from 42 yards out. His counterpart, Kurt Knight, missed from 32 yards out. Maul holding at the 42. Dolphins trying to ice it. The kick is blocked. Picked up. Upremian throws it up in the air, and is picked up by a Redskin. Mike Bass down the sideline. He will score! The miracle may happen. The specialty teams blocked it. Upremian picked it up. Threw it up in the air on a pass. Mike Bass picked it out near midfield and returned it all the way, getting away from Upremian. And with 2:07 to go, it will be 14-7. Now in our booth, we have instant replay. Looks like it was a Ted Baxter block field goal. Upremian picked it up. Threw it up for grabs. It was deflected as he threw it up. Bass picked it down, and behind perfect blocking with only Upremian to get him, legged it the rest of the way. Well, with 2:07 to go, don't go away. The Dolphins have been scored on, and once again, the Redskins defense, which this year blocked 4 punts and 5 field goals, has now blocked its 6th of the season. A 49-yard return for a touchdown. 2:07 to go. And they're going to call time for a moment, Kyle.
A fumble recovery in midair. Of course, they can return it. Also, looked like a bad snap. Maul had a little trouble with it. Return had to wait a little while.
The first play will be night kicking.
2:07 to go. For some reason, they call time. Now they have put time back in. Sam Weiss has come in to hold. This is a must point also. Within 7 points, the Redskins have a chance. If they miss here, here's Knight's extra point kick. It is good. 2:07 to go, and who knows what's going to happen. Because now, the Redskins are within 7 points and a possible chance at sudden death. They're alive. We were talking about the miracle, Kyle Rote. It hasn't happened yet, but they got a leg on it.
Well, it sort of reminds you of so many of those playoff games, Jim. The Dallas victory, the Pittsburgh victory over Oakland. Who would have given the Steelers a chance in that last play for it to have happened, particularly the way it happened. Here it is with 2 full minutes and 7 seconds left.
Well, they are expecting the Dolphins naturally an onside kick. Charlie Lee goes deep. Only one man back. The other 10 men are between the 40 and 50-yard line.
Upremian appeared to be in the act of passing, but it was ruled that he never had control of the ball, and it was a fumble.
We now get a ruling that Upremian, and this is a Crestbox quote, appeared to be in the act of passing, but never had control of the ball, so is it, as Kyle said, labeled a fumble in midair. That is the official ruling. Here's the kick. They kick it deep. Taken on the goal line. This is Mercury Morris back there trying to get outside, and Morris gets only back to about the 16-yard line. Knocked down there. Mercury Morris brings the ball back to the 16. 1:57 to go. And this is the spot they're going to have to call the 2-minute warning. So, with 1:52 to go, they have called the 2-minute warning. And from Los Angeles, we pause. There's timeout with the score now. Miami 14 and Washington 7. Well, those specialty teams for the Washington Redskins just don't give up, and that was quite a play that enabled Washington to get on the scoreboard, and now it's up to the defense again to try and get the ball back. Here's a quick rundown of what happened in college basketball Saturday, in case you missed it. UCLA won its 57th straight, 69-50 over California, now 3 away from tying the all-time record. Notre Dame stopped an all-time record, at least an all-time current record. Marquette had won 81 straight
straight games at the Milwaukee Arena until Saturday. Notre Dame 71, Marquette 69. Kansas State 70, Missouri 55. Minnesota 78, Wisconsin 54. Alabama over Vanderbilt 83-77. Providence beat Duquesne 87-79. St. John's 93, St. Francis 72. Southwest Louisiana 79, Texas Arlington 73. In double overtime, Louisville 79, Wichita State 75.
Back in Los Angeles, Jim Simpson saying hello wherever you are. Kyle Rote has left our booth and is on his way to a dressing room assignment. And you'll be hearing from Kyle once this game is over. But we'll ride this one out now alone with 1:57 to go in the game. After the block field goal attempt, Premium picked up the ball, trying to throw it. It was ruled a fumble. Mike Mass picked it out of midair, went 49 yards for the score. So again, the specialty teams of Washington, as the Redskins have done so often, give them a touchdown. They are still in the game. Miami will try to pick up the first downs. They've got a first down at their own 16-yard line. Greasy splits his back. Warfield to the left, Willie to the right. Mercury Morris and Zonker, the men back there, to give to Morris coming around the right side. And a fine play put by Pat Fisher as he wrestles him down at the 19-yard line. Pat Fisher pushed off one big blocker in front of him. And I say a fine play by Pat Fisher. Not only was it fine, but Pat, a 12-year veteran, is only 5'9", and they list him at 170 pounds. That was quite a job he had in front of it. It is second down. 1:51 to go. Jim Kick has now come in. Mercury Morris has gone out. Willie right, Warfield left. Second down. From the 19-yard line. The backs are split. Greasy calling signals. He's going to throw. He's putting it up in the air for Warfield, and Bass knocks him off his feet. He spins away from two men, but it's really stepped out of bounds. But it is a first down for Miami at the 31. Now there's one of those passes you wonder about. It came off fine. Greasy, fine quarterback, one of the best in the business, went with a flat pass. And you know what can happen in a flat pass? It can be picked off and returned all the way, the other way, for a touchdown. It took a lot of nerve on behalf of Bob Greasy to put that ball out in the flat like that. But it worked out. The ball is out to just over the 30-yard line. 1:45 to go, and it's the first down for the Dolphins. Swooly to the right. Warfield to the left. 14-7 the score. Miami. Redskins with a bundle of people up on the line expecting the run rather than the pass. The ball is handed to Jim Kick. Tries to get outside, and Brigo at the strong side safety throws in for a loss. Waiting for him at the 29-yard line. And quickly, Washington calls timeout to stop the clock with 1:39 to go. Redskins equipment man runs on the field. Needed water. Dolphins man does the same thing. It's been a very, very hot afternoon in Los Angeles. Perhaps not so for the 90,000 plus seated here in the Coliseum, but certainly so for those who must play on the Coliseum floor. At the beginning of the game, the temperature was 86 degrees on the Coliseum floor. At the beginning of the second half, it was 80 degrees. It is second down and about 11 to go now. For the Miami Dolphins, the clock has been stopped. Equipment men on their way off the field. Jack Pardee, who's been around for quite some time. He is a graduate of Texas A&M, played for many years for the Rams. In his 15th year, 36 years old, he is as much a coach, although not listed, as he is a player. Came over and talked with his head coach, George Allen, about what defenses to use. Miami dominated the first half, scoring 7 points on a Greasy to Twilly pass of 28 yards. On a Connie's interception, set up a Jim Kick 1-yard plunge. Miami had a 47-yard field goal, or 47-yard touchdown called back because of illegal procedure. Then in this half, Washington moved the ball, yet Miami was all the way down to the 5-yard line, threw into the end zone for Marv Fleming. Brig Owens intercepted that. The Dolphins have had many opportunities. The Redskins only a few, and their only touchdown has been on the 49-yard fumble recovery return of Mike Mass. Second down, 11. Again, a lot of folks up on that line for the Washington Redskins, figuring that Greasy with only one setback will not be throwing, but he showed nerve before. Hands this ball to Zonka, swinging out to the left side. Zonka is going to be gang tackled as he crosses the 30 to the 33, and it's going to be third down and 7 yards to go. And again, time has been called. 1:31 left. And now we come to one of the big plays of the game. In that it is third down and a long 7 to go. If Miami does not get it, the Redskins get the football and the chance to tie the game and to send it into sudden death. Mike Bass is now limping off the field. Ted Baxter has to go in. Bass plays the right corner spot. Baxter, though, has had a lot of experience. He is not an untried rookie out there. Miami keeps the ball, gets the first down. Well, they can call this their first Super Bowl victory and the first ever for Don Shula, who missed as coach of the Baltimore Colts and who missed last year as coach of these Miami Dolphins. What a job George Allen has done in 2 years in resurrecting the Redskins to bring them to the Super Bowl. And what a job Don Shula has done to take over an expansion team and in 3 years take them to the playoffs 3 consecutive years and the last 2 years to the Super Bowl. 2 great coaches, 2 fine teams, and thus far today, the better-looking ball club, statistics and score prove it, has been the Miami Dolphins, trying to win their 17th in a row without a loss. Never been done before. In the old All-America Conference, of course, the Cleveland Browns won 14 in a row, but in National Football League history, nobody's gone through a season undefeated. But as Don Shula said, and we repeated earlier, if we make it 17-0, we have done our job. 16-1 means nothing. Right now, he leads by a touchdown. Third down and about 8. Mercury Morris has come in. 1:31 to go. Dolphins either get to keep the ball after this or the Redskins get it. High formation. Warfield left, Twilly to the right. Morris and Zonka the setback. The ball is pitched to Mercury Morris coming around the right side. Morris comes outside the 30 and gets to the 35 only. The Dolphins will have to give up the football. Time has been called by the Redskins again, and I believe that's all they get. They're out of timeouts, but they will get the football. 1:23 showing on the clock. Don Shula walking back and forth. On the opposite sideline, George Allen just as nervous on this sideline, and for the first time, we see the people have come out of the stands and now beginning to ring the field. 1:23, Heyman, very fine punt return kickoff man, will have the sun in his eyes as he goes back inside the 25. Heupel has been kicking very well this afternoon, steps at his own 21. Tommy Bell walks back, one of the officials is over the ball. Now they'll wind the clock. Clock starts. On the snap of the ball after the timeout by the Redskins. Heupel waits at the 21. The ball is up. Nearly blocked. Heyman goes over to the 24-yard line. Has it there. Tries to get around several men. Does, and finally goes down at the 30-yard line. Tripped up at the 30. 1:14 to go. Hubert Ginn, for about the third time this afternoon, is down very quickly under a kick. A 40-yard punt, a 3-yard return. 1:14 to go. Redskins on the field. Taylor to the left. Jefferson to the right. They have not started the clock yet. They make sure everybody's there. Now they wind the clock. The clock starts 1:10 to go. Gilmer comes back, looks down and out, and overthrows his man, Larry Brown, but that stops the clock, which was a primary procedure and intent on that particular play. Stops the clock with 1:09 to go. Well, we will either have a Miami victory or we will have a sudden death. 70 yards to go in 1:09, second down and 10 to go. The Michigan band, which performed so ably before the game and so beautifully at halftime, crouched down preparing to march onto the field at the track here at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Down below us, fans ringing the field. The sun is still out, very warm afternoon, and the dramatic moments are now. Larry Brown flanks himself to the left. Taylor is to the left. Jefferson to the right. Gilmer goes back to throw. Gilmer looks, throws downfield, and host of people intended for Taylor. Curtis Johnson was deep, and Mike Colon had dropped off from his right linebacker spot. They had double-teamed Charlie Taylor, and the ball was thrown out of bounds. Now it will be third down and 10 for the Washington Redskins. They must get to 10 yards before they can worry about the touchdown. From the 30-yard line, Taylor walking slowly back. Nobody's going to take themselves out now because they're a little tired. They've got to stay in. They've only got 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. Of course, the Dolphins have 9 men that will go on to play for the American Football Conference in the Pro Bowl. Redskins have 5 men that will advance to the Pro Bowl, but $15,000 to the winner here today, $7,500 to the loser. Gilmer is back, being blitzed. Has his helmet taken off, throws to Larry Brown, is down at the 22. A loss on the play from the 30 back to the 22. Den Herter made the tackle of Brown, but Billy Kilmer was really getting his head taken off. Let's change that. Den Herter did that, forcing the play. It is fourth down, clock running, 40 seconds to go. Kilmer back to play and pass. He is going to be sacked at the 17-yard line by the defensive end. Clock is running, 33 seconds to go. They'll start it. The Dolphins don't have to do a thing. They're shaking hands with one another. Their defense held out the Redskin offense all day long. It was the Redskins special teams that scored the only points of the day for Washington. And Don Shula, after 2 consecutive losses in the Super Bowl, is about to win his first. George Allen, in his first Super Bowl ever, is about to lose. The fans are beginning to come out of the stands. Lots of youngsters coming out on the far side around the Miami Dolphins bench. 33 seconds to go once they come back out. Now fans are beginning to go across the field in the playing field. Not at the end in which the Redskins and Dolphins are huddled, however. But they figure it's all over, and they're racing for the Dolphin bench. The Dolphins, apparently the first Super Bowl champions for the first time in their history. That team is not very old, remember. And Don Shula has turned it around. He is Coach of the Year, and I think today's performance by his Dolphins proved that. Well, Oakland figures that they should be in the playoffs, despite that last play in the Pittsburgh game. Pittsburgh had a great game against Miami. Cleveland had a great game against Miami. Many teams in the American Conference wanted to get here. They were not dominated, as Washington dominated Green Bay and Dallas in the playoffs. Miami, when they had to put it all together, put it together this afternoon.
Clock is running again.
Clock is starting to run again. 5 seconds. Dolphins don't even want to come to the huddle. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. They'll not get another play off. The fans swarm on the field. 2 seconds to go, and they stop the clock right there. And now everybody's going as they let the clock run out. Super Bowl VII is over. The American Football Conference owns a 4-3 lead over the National Football Conference. And most of all, congratulations to Don Shula, his staff, the Miami Dolphins, and to the fans of the Dolphins of Miami. For the first time in their history, they are winners of the Super Bowl. Congratulations. That's the end of the game. Final score, Miami 14, Washington 7.
Well, thanks to Jim Simpson and Kyle Rote of NBC Radio for their description of Super Bowl VII as the Miami Dolphins are victorious over the Washington Redskins, and tradition continues in the Super Bowl. After the first Super Bowl, no team had ever won in a Super Bowl game until it had at least lost one ball game, and that, of course, was the war cry of the Washington Redskins. They said that we're not coming out to the West Coast to get ready for next year. We want it this time. But it was not to be, as a superior Miami Dolphin defense did the job, as they had the chance to either create pro football history or become a mere footnote to the record books when they came in. Despite their perfect 16-0 record, they were rated as slight underdogs, and that was the story as far as the pregame was concerned. But the Dolphins came through and have won Super Bowl VII.
A happy Miami Dolphin team is heading for the dressing room. A dejected Washington Redskin team walking right along with them. They must go through the same tunnel as on the field. The University of Michigan band begins to play. Fans cavort with Dolphin signs saying they're number one. As from Los Angeles, we pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Simpson back here in Los Angeles Coliseum. We are looking now into the Miami Dolphins dressing room by way of the monitor. Manny Fernandez comes in, hugs Larry Zonka and Jim Kick. They're thrilled. They've won the Super Bowl. They get the Super Bowl rings. They've won the $15,000. First prize to every man. And we'll point out that by winning 17 games in one season, the Miami Dolphins have not only won the Super Bowl, but they've done something unprecedented. No team ever went through in the National Football League, winning 14 in a row, as Miami did, and of course, under the current divisional conference and Super Bowl championships, they're able to extend it to 17 in a row. And yes, one team in the National Football League has won more games consecutively, but over 2 seasons. The Chicago Bears won 18 in a row twice. So I'm sure the Miami Dolphin fans, if they don't know it already, will be looking ahead to the Miami Dolphins schedule when it comes out to see whether or not they can tie or beat that record and get 1973 season off to a great start. Well, the final score on a 28-yard touchdown pass to Howard Twilley from Bob Greasy toward the end of the first quarter, and a Jim Kick 1-yard plunge made it 14-0. That's the Miami scoring. Washington really never came close. Tried a 32-yard field goal. In the third quarter, that was no good. And Billy Kilmer was intercepted 3 times for 95 yards. Washington got its only score with less than 2 minutes to go. 49-yard return by Mike Bass of a Garo Yepremian fumbled into midair after a blocked kick. That's the way it all ended. 14-7. Super Bowl VII goes to Miami. Our spotters, and they've done an excellent job this afternoon, Ozzie Lang and Tom Bishop. Our statisticians have been Dr. Bob Woods and Steve Cook. Our NBC engineers, Johnny Pollock, and our NBC producer, Al Ashby. Now this is Jim Simpson, along with Kyle Rote, saying that Super Bowl VII.
Okay, so the coverage of NBC's Super Bowl VII, the coverage by NBC concludes. In just a few moments, we'll be switching to NBC television for some of the activities in the dressing rooms of this football game.